home is where the heart is. The Bulls and Louisville are next on Fox Sports Net. Live from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, Fox Sports Net presents USF Football. Tonight, the Bulls make their Conference USA home debut. The Bulls entertain the Cardinals of Louisville. And be careful what you wish for. You know, for years, the South Florida Bulls dreamed about playing in a major conference and taking on some of the best teams in all of college football. Well, tonight, the Bulls get that and taking on undefeated Louisville. Hello again, everybody. I'm Al Keck. With me, the head coach of the Frankfurt Galaxy, Doug Graber. And Doug, kind of a yardstick game for the Bulls because after tonight, they'll find out just how good they are in taking on undefeated Louisville.
They're going to find out in a hurry because this is probably the premier program in Conference USA. I'm speaking of Louisville. They've been to 5 consecutive bowl games, off to a 4-0 start, some quality wins, ranked 26th in the country. And I'll tell you, and what a matchup this is between these two head coaches. You have in Louisville, you got Bobby Petrino, probably one of the premier young offensive minds in the country right now. And of course, Jim Leavitt has always been a great, great defensive head coach, and as witnessed by their shutout last week of Army.
You talk about that. What a way to open Conference USA play, 28-0. The victory over Army. It was the first time since 1981 that Army has been shut out at home, and that's saying something.
It really is. And again, this is just going to be a fantastic matchup. You got the 20-game winning streak at home here at Raymond James. Maurice Jones right there is an outstanding middle linebacker for South Florida. This is going to be something.
So the Bulls are 2-1. Louisville 4-0. Even some bowl games could be on the line tonight. It'll be the Bulls and Louisville live from Tampa and Raymond James Stadium right here on Fox Sports Net. The colors of Conference USA and the South Florida Bulls play their first home game in the conference tonight here at Raymond James Stadium on an absolutely beautiful night. Little sultry, however, I'm sure, for Louisville. And Jim Leavitt, he says that's absolutely fine because he is looking for a big-time crowd tonight. In fact, upwards of 40,000. It could be the largest crowd they've ever had for a football game, college football game here for USF at Raymond James. And there's a look at Bobby Petrino, former offensive coordinator with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's done an incredible job here at Louisville, having the Cardinals 4-0. That includes a victory over Kentucky. Again, the crowd still filing in. A lot of people making their way into Raymond James Stadium. And these fans are ready for Conference USA football. Louisville wins the toss. Louisville will receive, and we're just about ready to kick things off. There's a look at Broderick Clark, averaging 25 yards per kickoff return. And kicking off for the South Florida Bulls, it'll be Justin Geisler. South Florida 2-1. Louisville undefeated at 4-0. This will be Louisville's debut in Conference USA this season. Louisville also has won a couple of conference titles. So the Cardinals know what conference play is all about. Geisler with the kick. A deep kick. 9 yards deep, and Clark will say, we'll take it at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Louisville Cardinals. Here's a look at the starters for Louisville. They are led by junior quarterback Stephon LaForce. Had a concussion last week in the victory over Temple, but he's come back. He has thrown for 8 touchdowns on the season. A very veteran offensive line led by the center, Dan Coons. 24 consecutive starts. And the backs and receivers, J.R. Russell from Gaither High here in Tampa. There's the quarterback, Stephon LaForce. 1st and 10 for Louisville at the 20-yard line. Play action. LaForce with time. He hits Broderick Clark. The reception is good for a short game. Looks like Clark went down. He could have had some room to run. Now the defense for the South Florida Bulls. Tim Jones, 5 tackles for loss against Army last week. Linebackers led by Maurice Jones, the senior from Sarasota Booker, 32 tackles to lead the way. And the defensive backfield, J.R. Reed, 12 interceptions, #1 all time for the South Florida Bulls. 2nd down and 6 at the 24-yard line. LaForce steps up, and he has all kinds of room. Gets a 1st down over the 30-yard line.
You know, Alan, I know Bobby Petrino. I had a long talk with him on Thursday night, and he really does not want to see LaForce scramble very much. He has had 5 concussions, 3 in high school and 2 at Louisville, and they certainly don't want to see him take another hit on the head in particular, obviously.
Louisville with the 1st down on the scramble. Ball marked at the 33-yard line, 1st and 10. That's Clark in motion at the bottom of the screen. The pitch. And a big hole and a whole lot of room for Lionel Gates. See ya. The touchdown, 67 yards, and just like that, Louisville, who's known for jumping out quickly on their opponents, they've outscored their opponents now 58-17 in the 1st quarter, and lightning strikes here at Raymond James Stadium.
Well, it really did, and I'll tell you, they ran a crack block, and let's take a look at it right here. You're going to see the crack right there, and that really was the key block that got it going, and then the corner was blocked, and that's it. He's off to the races, and you have 2 outstanding running backs here for Louisville.
Nate Smith on to attempt the point after. 17 of 17 on the season. One of the top kickers in Conference USA. And the kick is good. Only 4 plays into this ball game. Louisville with the lead at 7-0. There's the man that scored the touchdown, Lionel Gates. Turned the corner, left side, and nobody for South Florida could catch him. 67 yards for his 3rd touchdown of the season.
220-pound junior, and I'll tell you, this has really been the trademark of Bobby Petrino coach teams. They really have scored fast early in the game, and you watch the speed right there, and there's the crack, and that really was set the whole play up. And look at the speed of Gates as he gets up and down that sideline. That's a 225-pound running back running away from the South Florida secondary.
And you know that means a little more for Gates. He grew up in Jacksonville, so he's coming home to Florida and has a 67-yard touchdown run and a 7-0 lead for the Louisville Cardinals. Again, how about the way that Bobby Petrino's Louisville Cardinals just love to start the game. Again, they have outscored their opposition 59-17 now in the 1st quarter, 97-27 in the 1st half. They like to jump on you in a hurry and never let you up.
They do, Al. They do a lot of different things week to week. Bobby Petrino scripts the first 12 plays. They don't care what the down and distance is. They're going to script and run those 12 plays in succession. Last year, Coach Petrino was the offensive coordinator at Auburn. And I'll tell you what now, how much are they, as Auburn is kind of missing him a little bit this year. And I just talked to the Louisville athletic director, Tom Jurek, and they are thrilled to have Bobby Petrino as their new head coach. And I'll tell you, Jim Levitt is a defensive coach. That is going to get him upset right off the bat, and I don't blame him. Very poor conversion on the crack right there by South Florida.
Smith the kick, back to receive. This is J.R. Reed at the goal line. Reed with blocking. Reed finds a hole, cuts back at the 30. And Reed tries to pull away from Louisville, but a big time return for the South Florida Bulls. They say anything you can do, we can do better. To tackle by the kicker, Nate Smith, that may have prevented an answering touchdown for the South Florida Bulls.
Absolutely, and anytime the opposing team comes out and scores on the first possession, you've got to answer the bell.
Here's a look at the starting lineup for the South Florida Bulls. The quarterback, Ronnie Banks, up and down throughout the season. 5 touchdown passes so far. Up front, the guy to keep an eye on, Derek Sarosi. He is a veteran there, meant so much to the offensive line. Backs and receivers for the South Florida Bulls. From the shotgun, Banks quickly to the air. He finds Huey Whitaker. That's good for a first down.
This is tremendous now for this young quarterback to come out and hit that first pass and get some confidence going. He's been very inconsistent this year. He has ability. He could throw the ball.
And the Bulls have come right back. They are deep in Louisville territory. That's DeJuan Green, the transfer from Georgia. The first carry for the South Florida Bulls. Now the defense for Louisville. Up front, they are very tough defensively. Montavious Stanley, Tyrone Satterfield, and Marcus Jones. Jones with 4 sacks so far on the season. The linebackers, Robert McCune, number 2 in Conference USA in tackles. Brent Johnson, number 2 in tackling for Louisville. Again from the shotgun on second down. Banks with time. Once again, Huey Whitaker inside the 20-yard line.
Now, those of you watching tonight who have not seen this South Florida offense, it's very interesting to watch. They run a no-huddle offense. They are continually shifting people in and out of the game. And look at this throw right here. Again, a great throw to the big Huey Whitaker. And again, they signal all the plays in from the sideline, all the formations. It's very fast-paced.
At the 17, Brian Fisher in a quarterback. He pitches off to Green. Green gets it over the 15-yard line before he's brought down by several members of Louisville, led by Robert McCune and Antoine Harris. And so sets up a very interesting third down play. Make that, it is a second down play for the South Florida Bulls. It'll be second down and 7.
And Brian Fisher is a great little athlete. He's 5'9", 180, was an all-state quarterback up in Pensacola.
Had a pair of touchdowns against Alabama, one on a run as an option quarterback, the other as a catch. Second down and 7. Banks gets away from pressure. Banks looking to the end zone. Incomplete. He had Victor Glenn open momentarily for South Florida.
That's the biggest difference between Ronnie Banks and Marquell Blackwell. He does not throw on the run quite as well as Blackwell did for the last 4 years. Take a look at the replay here. They're running a blitz. He comes scot-free from the outside. Nice job of Banks of avoiding the pressure. But right here, you just got to put everything in slow motion to get the ball down a little bit.
Joan Bain, the intended receiver. Third down and 7. Ball marked at the 14. Banks again steps up. Huey Whitaker, touchdown South Florida, and the Bulls answer. Bingo, just like that.
Wow, what a great drive and way to answer the bell for South Florida.
$14 yards on the touchdown pass. Ronnie Banks steps up, and he finds his big receiver, preseason All-Conference USA, and this is why.
6'5", 225-pound Huey Whitaker from Spring Hill.
Santiago Gramatica, 7 of 8 on point after attempts. Gramatica is good. So can you say we're all tied up? The South Florida Bulls. Huey Whitaker with 3 catches for 45 yards on that drive. The Bulls 7. Louisville 7 here at Raymond James. Welcome back to Raymond James Stadium. Bobby Petrino not too happy with his defense and the way that the Bulls were able to take it 50 yards on the kickoff return and then drive another 50 for the answering touchdown. Here it is, Coach.
And I'll tell you what, this is an outstanding job by this offensive line right here. This front 4 leads Conference USA in sacks, and watch the protection. Pretty darn good, especially by Sarosi. Pushes him by the pocket. Nice job of Banks stepping up. And this time, an outstanding throw on the run.
And the big advantage when you have a receiver that is 6'5", taking on one of the little guys in the defensive backfield for Louisville, that's why you have that big wide receiver. He's able to go on the jump ball and pull it in. Roderick Clark back to receive for Louisville. Justin Geisler with the kick. This is 5 yards deep. And Clark says, again, we'll take it up the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 from there. So Louisville headed for all of 4 plays on the opening drive. Lionel Gates found an opening on the left side. He sprinted 67 yards for the touchdown and the opening points of the game. And again, the Bulls drive 50 yards for the answering score. We expected a big-time battle here at Conference USA. Coach, we have that only minutes into the contest.
This could be a shootout here if it goes like this all night.
Stephon LaForge, the quarterback for Louisville. That's Clark in motion. And again, pounding away with the running game, it's Eric Shelton. Shelton was one of the top recruits in the country, decided to go to Florida State. An awful lot of talent there as well at running back. Shelton decided to transfer back home, and he transfers to Louisville.
Yeah, and he's 245 pounds, and this really is the key to this game because Louisville's averaging 200 yards a game rushing.
And they have done that for their opening 4 games of the season. Anytime you can do that, you can truly control the football. Quick pass, looking for Tampa's J.R. Russell. And the Bulls are right there in coverage. J.R. Reed among the defenders for the South Florida Bulls.
This is a quick 3-step, and he just overfires. You know, a lot of times when you get your adrenaline going as a quarterback, that's typical to get some overthrows.
Courtney Davenport, the former running back, now a linebacker, also in coverage for the South Florida Bulls. Interesting 3rd down and 3 for Louisville. Ball marked at the 27-yard line. Empty backfield. Look at this. Receivers spread all over the field. LaForge gets away from one tackler, and he goes down. He appears to be shy of the first down. Maurice Jones with the tackle for the South Florida Bulls.
Outstanding adjustment by South Florida here on the empty backfield set. Here's the pressure right there. Nice job of LaForge missing, but excellent job of Maurice Jones coming back, holding him short of the first down.
Maurice Jones, the #1 tackler for the South Florida Bulls. He's a senior out of Sarasota Booker. And back to receive for the South Florida Bulls as we see Keyshawn Johnson on the sidelines for the South Florida Bulls, wearing a Kellen Winslow along with Booger McFarland. He's wearing a Kellen Winslow jersey there. Brian Fisher back to receive, a very high punt. Fisher gets away from one tackler, tries to cut it back the other way, and he's brought down at the 23-yard line.
And that's Brett Moody, their freshman punter from Tallahassee, and boy, he's averaging 41.1 with good hang time.
10:15 left to go in the opening period. We have an exciting one here at Raymond James, all tied at 7. How about that? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Monday night, they take on Tony Dungy and undefeated Indianapolis. And you can see some Buccaneers on the sidelines. Martin Gramatica, brother Santiago, the kicker for the South Florida Bulls. There's Ronnie Banks. He led South Florida on a 50-yard drive on their opening possession. And a touchdown pass to Huey Whitaker, his 2nd reception, touchdown reception of the season. The South Florida Bulls are tied with Louisville at 7. You know, Coach, we talked about the fact that this offense for South Florida really never huddles. They go right to the line of scrimmage, and they truly put the pressure on the defense.
Oh, they really do, especially time-wise. They get you totally out of whack defensively.
Look at this, an empty backfield. 5 wide receivers spread across your screen. Ronnie Banks, the only man in the backfield. Quick snap, quick pass. Brian Fisher over the 30, breaks his way over the 35-yard line. How about that for the first down? Brian Fisher on the reception. He is brought down by Josh Minkins.
We're going to take, now this is their base coverage now. Louisville is a cover 2 team. There's the 2 safeties, and they're going to spread them out and hit these short zones on them like you see right here. Stop right there, get it in there between the backers. Good game.
So the Bulls are on the move again. DeJuan Green cutting back, gets over the 40 before he's tackled. Kerry Rose, the tackle for Louisville, along with Tyrone Satterfield.
You know, Mike Hobby, the offensive coordinator, really has to do a great job tonight of attacking that base cover 2 that Louisville runs so much. And that's one of the best ways to do it, is to spread the field just like they're doing right now. But they had 5 receivers, now they bring a tight end in. But they're spreading the field and try to spread those zones out. But this time, Louisville looks like they're playing some kind of man blitz coverage.
Once again, 5 receivers spread across your screen. 2nd down and 4. 5 on the play clock. And the Bulls barely get it away. Quick pass. The look-in is complete. S.J. Green, a freshman out of Brandon, with the catch. And the first down for the South Florida Bulls.
Boy, this staff is really, really excited about Green. Excellent job on the slant. Puts it right on the money from that big split. And Banks is off to a great, great start tonight.
Antoine Harris couldn't do anything about it. the perfect slant. It's good for a first down at midfield.
You see Keyshawn Johnson run that slant all the time.
That's DeJuan Green, left side in motion. The tackle by Marcus Jones.
Well, and I'll tell you, this Louisville defense has some speed. I really thought they had a chance to really have a play here. But watch the speed of Jones coming out here. And he tracks Green right down all the way to the sideline. A lot of outstanding athletes on this field for both teams tonight.
Second down and 6. From the 46-yard line. We are tied at 7. Opening quarter. Banks, all kinds of time. And call that a coverage sack. It's a loss of 5 yards. The tackle by the fine linebacker, Robert McCune, number 2 in Conference USA with 48 tackles, had 17 tackles last week, and there was simply nobody open, Coach.
There really wasn't. And I'll tell you what, this is a full blitz here by Louisville. A full blitz and a great job of protection, really. But Banks could not find anybody open. I think he had the slant. He had Green open. He just couldn't quite get the football to him. That's too bad because it was a great job of protection on the blitz.
And the Bulls are on the move until that play. Third down and 10. 4-man rush. Banks wants it all. Banks looking deep. And that is intercepted. Excellent coverage. Downfield, Antoine Harris. His opening interception of the season. And that almost works out like a punt, Coach, because now you've got Louisville backed up. Yes, you hate giving up the football, but you're giving up the football inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a great job of him going up and intercepting the football at its greatest height. And these two corners aren't very tall, but I'll tell you what, they're both really good players. Let's take a look at this play now from the high end zone and see exactly what Banks sees. I think take a look now, he's going to look to his right. They're going to twist up front. They picked up the twist real well. He looks off the safety. He just doesn't get it quite far enough outside.
He had the one-on-one coverage he wanted with Elgin Hicks. Hicks with a pair of touchdowns against Nicholls State. Again to the run. The man that scored the touchdown, and this time the South Florida Bulls say, get out of here. You ain't going to do it against us this time. And a host of tacklers led by Courtney Davenport there for South Florida. No gain on the play.
You know, this Louisville team has 2 quality road wins. They opened up against Kentucky, beat them handily at Kentucky, then went to Syracuse, beat them handily at Syracuse, and got off to great starts in both those games. First time they've really been tested going into, late in the first quarter like this.
It is a gain of 1 at the 6-yard line. Second down 9. Play action. LaFours from his own end zone. He's looking deep for Clark. And the Bulls are right there in coverage. Bruce Gibson had one-on-one coverage, and he was there step for step.
Watch the offensive line here now. Pretty darn good protection on the play action. Great job by the left tackle. And that's Travis Lafleur. Boy, he's a sophomore. They think he is really going to be a good one.
Third down and 9. The crowd here at Raymond James Stadium trying to help the Bulls defense. Quick drop. LaFours hits Clark. Clark tries to fight his way for a first down, but he appears to be short. Coverage by Maurice Jones and Kenny Robinson.
Yeah, this is a 3-step drop. He's a little bit late reacting here, and then he loses it. But he's able to just get enough of that ankle to get him down.
It'll be 3 and out for Louisville. Back to receive, and the Bulls should get excellent field position. It'll be Brian Fisher standing near midfield. Brett Moody will punt for Louisville.
Al, this is great stuff. This crowd is really getting into it. First big time game here at Raymond James on the college scene.
Once again, the Bulls have won 20 straight here at Raymond James. Moody, a left-footed kicker, a high spiral. Fisher takes it on the run. Fisher pulled down just over the 50, or make that the 45-yard line. We have a flag down, and the tackle is made by Jonathan Jackerson of Louisville.
Well, I'll tell you, got to be careful now with Fisher back there because he is outstanding in the open spaces. Very, very quick and explosive.
Now the Bulls are hoping this is on Louisville because they have excellent field position. They don't want to go back on the other side of the 50-yard line. It is holding against South Florida, and that hurts because they would have had big-time field position at the 45.
Yeah, that's from the spot of the foul, and boy, they're coming. Oh, that really was a cost them about.
We have a hold. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Now that cost them 15 yards in field position. That hurts. But of course, if Banks if he comes out and continues to be hot, they'll be fine.
5:44 left to go in the opening period. Everything you could want in a Conference USA game. Louisville, South Florida, tied at 7 at Raymond James. The Bulls own a 20-game home winning streak, the second longest right now in college football, and there's a sign: we must protect our house. You can watch the Bulls try to protect their house coming up on Friday as they take on TCU, Raymond James Stadium, in a Conference USA showdown sponsored by Singular Wireless and Bright House Networks. Tickets start at $20 plus a service charge through Ticketmaster, the Sun Dome ticket office, or by calling 1-800-GO-BULLS. TCU against the Bulls Friday, October 10th, 8 o'clock, right here at Raymond James Stadium. So this is a tough stretch for the South Florida Bulls. They've got Louisville, TCU, and Southern Miss in October.
TCU also is undefeated.
And TCU rated one of the top teams in the country, not just Conference USA. So the Bulls at the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 from there. We are tied at 7. Both teams scored on their opening possession. From the shotgun, Ronnie Banks. Again, looking over the middle again. Brian Fisher, complete. That into Louisville territory inside the 35-yard line.
Now this is a great job of Banks of forcing them to show the coverage, and then you're going to see a shot right down the field, middle of the field, against cover 2. That's where the ball's got to go. Outstanding job of getting the ball down the middle against cover 2.
From the 35, the option. Green knocked hard out of bounds. The Bulls want a flag over there. They hit by Antoine Harris. Nothing came out. Green on the run for South Florida.
You know, Al, it's really important that Banks has a lot of patience because Louisville has given him different looks on defense. If you just take your time, they will eventually show you what they're going to do before the ball is snapped.
3-yard gain. Sets up 2nd down and 7 at the 32. South Florida all tied up with Louisville at 7.
This looks like cover 2.
Banks 5 of 7 so far tonight. Make it 6 of 8. Close to 1st down yardage. Once again, there's Brian Fisher, Brandon Johnson, the stop for Louisville.
This, I think, has to be a defensive penalty, either a face mask, from where it was thrown, I'm guessing that. But again, they spread the field out. It's cover 2. Cover 2, spread the field, and hit them on the quick throws between the zones. That was a face mask against Louisville.
Incidental face mask. 5 yards tacked on to the end of the run. Yardage makes it 1st down.
Mark it at the 22-yard line. Louisville last week had 15 penalties against Temple despite the win. There's a look at the face mask. Robert McCune, the culprit. Again, 15 penalties last week, and they still go on and roll over Temple by a score 21-12. Fisher loses the football, and they're saying the pass was incomplete.
Yeah, that was, again, a play that they put in to try to get the ball in Fisher's hands. Really, you got to give Louisville credit. They really had that very, very well defensed. The quick toss out. He's going to sneak back across the left-handed throw. Again, you see him looking down the field. You got to catch the football first, son. Put your eyes on the football, see the field later.
Brian Fisher saw J.T. Haskins running his way. Sets up 2nd down and long. The 22-yard line. Ronnie Banks from the shotgun. Quick drop. Looking for Elgin Hicks, incomplete.
Banks was very, very lucky right here because he misread the coverage. That was cover 2, and that corner had the flat. You got to be careful about throwing that football. Now, I think the reason this was a poor release is because he saw it late and he tried to pull it back, because that is definitely a misread. You do not want to throw that route into cover 2 into that corner.
3rd down and 10. Ball marked at the 22. South Florida and Louisville tied at 7.
Big 3rd down play, Al.
Banks, all kinds of time over the middle. Huey Whitaker at the 5-yard line. 1st and 10 for South Florida.
And Al, I got to tell you, I'm amazed at the job the South Florida offensive line is doing against this straight front. And again, here's the big guy coming inside. Terrific job. He's got great body control for a young guy, 6'5", 225.
4 catches on the ball game, and that includes a touchdown early in the contest for South Florida. That for Huey Whitaker. 1st and goal at the 5. South Florida on the move again, looking to take the lead. You know, only for 38 seconds all season long has Louisville trailed. So the Bulls are looking to do something here. The fake, DeJuan Green, headed for the end zone, touchdown!
Wow.
South Florida.
Very well-designed play by Mike Hobby, offensive coordinator. Fake the reverse, got it to the corner of the end zone. 13-7 to take a look at. Great block outside.
Elgin Hicks took on 2 Louisville Cardinals and wins. DeJuan Green with the touchdown. One more look.
Yeah, fakes the reverse, and boy, you're exactly right. Elgin Hicks makes a great block out there, and Green's got some speed.
Santiago Gramatica and the South Florida Bulls lead for the first time in the contest. Once again, only 38 seconds this season has Louisville trailed in a football game. And the South Florida Bulls trailed 7-0. They have come back with 2 touchdowns. And there's a look at the man that scored the 2nd touchdown for South Florida. Green with 6 carries, 25 yards, 5 yards on the touchdown run, and the Bulls lead it at 14-7.
You know, Al, Bobby Petrino, he picks 3 games out, actually way back last spring, and he picked South Florida as one of their red letter games. And they have been planning and pointing towards this game since last spring. So I'll tell you what, Louisville knows what they're getting into up here. And what a great start for South Florida. And again, the thing I'm most impressed with is Greg Fry's offensive line, because that is a very talented front 4 of Louisville.
But let's remember, South Florida, jumped out to a 17-7 lead at Alabama and gave that lead. Well, gave it up big time, and Alabama went on to the win. Justin Geisler to kick off for the South Florida Bulls. Broderick Clark back to receive, standing at his own goal line. Clark averaging 25 yards per kickoff return this season. Geisler, another deep kick, but this one ends at the 2. Here's a look at Clark. Clark quickly upfield, spins his way down near the 30-yard line.
You know, he is an outstanding return guy, averaging 24.7 preseason, Conference USA preseason, 1st team pick.
DeJuan Brown to stop for the South Florida Bulls, and now this Bulls defense, it's been able to hold Louisville after that opening drive. Now Louisville will have the football at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10, trailing for the first time tonight at 14-7. Stephon LaForce at quarterback.
There's an audible. Again, they were going to a 3-step drop and went away from it.
The pitch. And the South Florida Bulls are right there. Taking the pitch, Michael Bush, who's quite an athlete. He's actually listed as the 3rd quarterback, but he may have as much speed as anybody on that offense for Louisville.
Great freshman athlete, their prize. Look at him go north and south with that football. He was Mr. Kentucky in football, MVP of their basketball all-star game. A great athlete.
Kevin Verpeil, the stop for the South Florida Bulls. 2nd down and 8 at the 30-yard line. South Florida with the lead at 14-7. LaForce over the middle. He was looking for Broderick Clark, overthrows him. Kevin Verpeil in the neighborhood. Now last week, Kevin Verpeil picked off a pass and took it back for a touchdown against Army.
And LaForce looked just a little bit out of sync on that throw. Got it up high. You got to be careful of that. Now, you can't get them up high where they're tipped up in the air. And, you know, he went out of that Temple game last week early with a concussion.
3rd down and 8 at the 30-yard line. from the shotgun. Big crowd here at Raymond James Stadium trying to cheer on the Bulls defense. LaFours again over the middle. Pass complete to J.R. Russell from Gaither High School. Right up the road on Dale Mabry, but he is shy of the first down. Ball marked at the 36. That's a good 3-yard shy. And so again, it'll be 3 and out for Louisville, and the Bulls will receive a punt.
Great pressure by Jones. Good throw. If he could have kept his feet, he could have run forever.
Moody in the punt. Back to receive for the South Florida Bulls. Ryan Fisher standing at his own 25-yard line. And it's a fake. Moody on the run. Moody gets a first down and much more. With the flag down, we'll see if this is coming back. If this is against Louisville, believe me, the Bulls will have dodged a big-time bullet.
I think this is going to be against Louisville. I think you had a hold downfield here. Let's see how they call it. That's exactly what it was. And they really caught South Florida napping right there.
During the run, holding on the kicking team. 10 yards from the spotted foul. We play 4th down.
Okay, South Florida was setting up a sideline return for Fisher, and they had spotted that and knew it was coming, and that was a great call by Petrino because they really had him. You've got to hold first. You can't get out of there too fast in your blocking assignments.
It was good for a 12-yard gain and a first down, but it's coming back because of the hold, and Moody will punt again. I think he's a little winded, Coach.
He might be.
Standing at his own 19, back to receive, Brian Fisher. This time, he punts it away, very high punt. Fisher takes it at the 25-yard line, dances around, trying to cut to the sideline. He's knocked out of bounds at the 32-yard line. The tackle by William Gay in coverage for Louisville. It'll be 1st and 10 for South Florida from there. You know, Coach, South Florida really has not had bad field position throughout this first quarter here with still 2:31 left to go.
Brent Moody, the Louisville punter, is just a freshman. I'm impressed with him. He really gets good hang time. And that was another wall return. And Fisher needed one block to get to the wall. Almost got to it.
Jim Levitt talking to his senior, J.R. Reed. Again, a big crowd here at USF. South Florida looking to run its home winning streak to 21 in a row. Quick drop, quick pass. Complete. Allenson Sheffield with his first reception tonight and his 8th reception on the season. Good gain on first down.
Positive yardage on first, and this is a pass, but it's really a run and play. Look at the line pulling. Nice job of getting up the field. That offensive line is really doing a job. John Miller has moved into center. He's not very big, but boy, I tell you, the center in this offense, they never get under center, or rarely. He's got a shotgun snap at every single down all night long, and he's been right on the money.
6-yard gain on first down. Coach, you got to take that anytime you can get 6 yards on first down. How about those feet?
Wow.
Green
Wow.
with the first down for South Florida. Believe me, it was a 6-yard gain, but it was one of the more exciting 6-yard gains that you will see.
Boy, he really showed some quick feet right here. Look at this from the tight end zone here. Watch this. Watch his feet right in here, Green. Wow, that's a great, and look at the cutback right there. That is some run right there. That's one of the better 6-yard runs you're ever going to see.
Satterfield and Bobby LeFew both just completely faked out. Good for the first down at the 46. South Florida on the move again. 2:07 left to go in the opening period. South Florida with 14 unanswered points. 4 wide receivers spread across your field. Looking for Huey Whitaker, incomplete. Double coverage down there for Louisville, and that's really the first time that Louisville has had an answer for Huey Whitaker, already with 4 catches and a touchdown tonight.
Yeah, and that coverage right there is what's called quarters coverage. There are 2 base coverages, are cover 2, and also quarters coverage, and that was it right there. That was the right read. If they're going to sit on Whitaker that tight, they need to take one down the field and get that corner off a little bit.
An impressive opening period for Ronnie Banks. 9 completions and a touchdown. 2nd down and 10. Banks under pressure. Over the middle. Huey Whitaker again at the 40. That is good for a first down. Tackled by Kerry Rhodes.
Well, I'll tell you, Whitaker is really, really tough going over the middle right here. Looking a lot like Keyshawn Johnson. Big guy, gets hit. That takes a lot of concentration. That takes a lot of guts. Al, to come up with those catches over the middle like that right there.
Again, that's all in the opening period. Green already with the touchdown. Cuts it back up, and he took what appeared to be a negative play and gets 3 yards out of that. That's got to be huge on first down, Coach.
This is really exciting. You know, this South Florida team has kind of been searching for their identity. They've been up and down. They had the very disappointing second half against Alabama. But tonight now, this team is really getting after it. There you see the play being sent in by Rod Smith.
Ronnie Banks already has a touchdown pass tonight, and he's leading the Bulls on another march. Movement up front, no flag. Complete. Elgin Hicks pulled down at the 35-yard line. Antoine Harris, excellent tackling there, one-on-one, but it's still a gain of 5 yards.
You know, and if the Louisville corners, that again was the quarters coverage, which is basically man-to-man outside. If they continue to crowd the South Florida wideouts, Al, you're going to see a stutter go. You're going to see some kind of a go route down the field because you cannot allow them to do that.
3rd down and 3. How about a 45-minute first quarter? And it's all been filled with action. A big 3rd down play here at the 33. Banks had a wide open DeJuan Green. Banks overshoots him. He goes down as well, and that'll set up 4th down.
Boy, I tell you what, he looks like he might have turned his ankle on that when he got hit after the throw. And again, he missed him because he clearly had a first down right there. And again, that right ankle looks just a little bit gimpy now.
And what's this? Are they going to go for it on 4th down?
It certainly looks like it, huh?
South Florida so far this season 0 for 2 on 4th down. This will be 4th and 3. Jim Levitt very confident in his defense so far, despite giving up the 1 touchdown. Banks looking deep for the end zone. Whitaker cannot pull it in. Double coverage in the end zone, and the Bulls wanted a penalty. Antoine Harris in coverage along with J.T. Haskins. No flag. It'll go back to Louisville.
Well, there was some contact here, but I'll tell you what, you know what?
Might have been offensive interference.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. You got to let him play football. That's a good no call. Boy,
Whitaker at 6'5", Antoine Harris at 5'10". Again, the big size advantage for South Florida. But that time, Louisville survives. South Florida with the lead with 12 seconds left to go in the opening period. LaForce back to the air, complete. And spinning away, it is J.R. Russell from Tampa's Gaither High School, the leading receiver for Louisville so far this season. His opening catch tonight, Kenny Robinson in coverage. He goes out of bounds with 4 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
And that was a great out route and good timing on the throw. And he is, look, boy, he really had the corner turn. Nice throw, good timing. Excellent, excellent. You know, and Mike Hobby, the South Florida offensive coordinator, coached him in high school.
Just over midfield, 1st and 10 at the 49. That is Eric Shelton. Very little running room. Kevin Verpeo coming up along with Terrence Royal for the tackle for South Florida. And that is the end of the opening period. And believe me, it has been some kind of opening period. There's the score. South Florida with the lead over Louisville, 14-7 after 1. USA football here on Fox Sports Net. South Florida with the lead as we get ready to start the second quarter of play. 14-7 over Bobby Petrino's Louisville Cardinals. And again, Louisville very rarely this season has trailed in a football game. Ball marked at the 47. 2nd down and 8. Movement up front. Flags down. South Florida may have been a little anxious on this one.
I think they were. You know, the amazing thing is Louisville is 17th in the nation in their rushing offense.
By the defense, offside. 5-yard penalty.
And they have a huge size advantage over this South Florida front. Yeah, no question about that. They're a little anxious to get started there.
South Florida had 13 penalties against Army, 31 penalties coming into the contest. So instead of 2nd down and 8, now it is 2nd down and 3.
Cedric Battle's just a little bit anxious.
15 minutes, please.
And it looks to me like Bobby Petrino said, okay, guys, that's enough fooling around. Now they're coming with 2 tight ends. They're 2 big backs and the fullback. And I think they're going to line up and just try to physically get after it and get their running game going here a little bit.
And when you look at the Bulls overall in their history, they have had trouble with that big pounding type of running back. And you would think Eric Shelton is exactly that at 6'3", 245 pounds. He's deep in the backfield. He's got Kamer in front of him at fullback. Tries to cut it back. Kevin Verpail tried to pull him down, and that is why Eric Shelton is so effective. He just bowled his way for the first down.
He really did, but, you know, let's look at the stats here now. Okay, they still have 97 yards rushing. That's pretty darn good, and the first downs, of course, are a key thing right here.
But let's remember, 67 of those yards on the rush came on 1 play, but South Florida has certainly dominated this Louisville team, despite being up only by 7 points, as they have held Louisville to only 3 first downs. Just over the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Quick drop, LaFours hits Clark, and the Bulls are very lucky there because Clark had some room. Kenny Robinson fell down, and if Clark stays on his feet, he may still be running.
Absolutely. And the South Florida corners have to do a better job of reading that 3-step drop. Look at it right here. Watch him. He gets overextended, falls, both of them. You see the turf come up a little bit. Both teams are having just a little bit of problem with this turf tonight.
5-yard gain at the 34, 2nd down and 5.
Here's an audible.
Once again, it's Michael Bush. Very little running room.
And Al, it looks to me like any time that Louisville's coming out with 2 backs in the backfield, yeah, this is really a busted play right here, no question about it. But anytime they have 2 backs in the backfield, South Florida is getting the one of the safeties up in the box to get an 8-man front to stop the run. Nice job by Jones right there, and there you see Verpail coming in.
3rd down and 4 at the 33-yard line. The Bulls would love to stop Louisville right here and keep that 7-point lead. LaFours under pressure, picked off by South Florida. Ron Hemingway with the interception for USF.
That was an option route. The receiver ran outside. The quarterback read it inside. That's a great job by South Florida. A total misread by LaFours.
Louisville should have zigged when they should have zagged. There's the interception. Ron Hemingway, the first turnover in this contest for Louisville. And the Bulls stop Louisville.
That's twice now they've blitzed Jones right up the middle. He's been scot-free on the quarterback both times.
At the 23-yard line, 1st and 10. South Florida with the 7-point lead, just underway here in the 2nd. DeJuan Green over the 30 down to the 35-yard line. Another first down. 11 first downs already in the ball game for South Florida.
And again, watch Green on the cutback right there. That's the key to set that up. A nice job by the center and the guard. Great job downfield.
Brent Johnson with the tackle for Louisville. Ball marked at the 35, 1st and 10. South Florida again, 11 first downs already in this contest. Banks steps up. He was looking for the freshman, S.J. Green.
Boy, and he had him wide open, Al. He just misfired a little bit. And again, I am so impressed with this offensive line against this very athletic group of front. Look at the protection right here. I mean, he's got all day long and just simply misfires. He had him open.
2nd down and 10. South Florida looking to take advantage after the Ron Hemingway interception. South Florida with the lead at 14-7. Banks under pressure. Tried to drop it over the middle. That was a very dangerous pass. Pressure by Bobby LeFew for Louisville. This sets up 3rd down and 10. You know, Coach, they've worked so hard to take that lead of 14-7. They've had some opportunities here to really put the pressure on, but South Florida has not taken advantage.
Yeah, they really haven't, and that was a matchup there with Satterfield against Carruthers. Satterfield's 305, boy, for Louisville. He is a force inside.
3rd and 10 at the 35. A screen pass. Green not able to hold on. So 2 missed opportunities for the South Florida Bulls. That after the interception by Ron Hemingway, that will all go for nothing, except that they stopped Louisville when Louisville was on the march.
Yeah, and they had people open there. It was just simply a case of Banks just misfired on a couple throws. The screen was a little bit too high.
Robert Haskins back to receive for Louisville, and punting for South Florida, Brandon Baker.
Oh,
what a high, deep punt. Haskins, and this will be a penalty. Oh, that's too bad, because South Florida would have had Louisville pinned back.
You know, and I talked to Coach Levitt this week about Brandon Baker, this young punter, and he says, you know, when he hits him, he is unbelievable. He's got a cannon for a leg.
The penalty against South Florida.
I don't think he thought the ball could not be there. I mean, that ball was up forever.
Kenny Robinson on the hit. One problem, he didn't give Haskins an opportunity.
Opportunity with contact. It's a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Automatic 1st down.
And again, a very big penalty as Jim Levitt is talking with Kenny Robinson. Instead of being pinned back inside the 5, look out. Louisville has decent field position. 14-7, USF with the lead. Some 40,000 here at Raymond James Stadium for the home debut in Conference USA for the South Florida Bulls. And plenty of reason to smile right now for South Florida with the 14-7 lead. Boy, what a weekend of football. Actually, a weekend, early part of the week coming up with the Bulls. And then Monday Night Football as well. The broadcast rights to tonight's telecast have been granted to Fox Sports Net Florida by the University of South Florida solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction, transmission, or other use of this program without the express written consent of Fox Sports Net Florida is prohibited. Once again, Monday night, it'll be Tony Dungy and the Colts, undefeated, taking on the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jim Levitt has his South Florida Bulls with the lead at 14-7. Louisville scored the opening time and had the football on a 67-yard run by Lionel Gates. They've been shut down ever since. At the 32, the quick pass, wide open. The tight end, Ronnie Gent. Gent is from Lakeland, and he has a big gain over midfield. He was wide open. DeJuan Brown finally had to come up and make the tackle. But Gent could be the first 4-time Conference USA, All-Conference USA selection.
Yeah, good play action, and he sneaks across the flow of the play. And I'll tell you, talking to some of the scouts here before the game, they really like this Gent. 255-pound senior. He's going to definitely be drafted.
Out of Lakeland High School. A lot of Florida players on this Louisville ball club. Quick snap. The fours. All kinds of time. He had a wide open Broderick Clark, although DeJuan Brown was in the neighborhood, but Clark had an opportunity, could not pull it in.
You know, I'll tell you, there was a pretty darn good quarterback a few years ago from this area that played there. His name was Jay Gruden. Well, the lefty just overthrows him a little bit right here.
At the 46-yard line, 2nd down and 10. South Florida, the 7-point lead. This is Gates already has one touchdown, cuts it over the 40-yard line. Gain of 6 yards on 2nd down.
That was Johnny Jones, and I'll tell you, he did a great job, number 27, playing off the block, because they really had a big play set up there. And Jones is the nickel back, and he did a nice job of playing off the block and getting to him And of course, there's Maurice Jones. Talk about a pro prospect. He's another one, 6'2", 245, runs 4.5, middle backer for South Florida.
Louisville 0 for 4 on third down. Can the Bulls do it again? Quick drop. LaFour's wide open. J.R. Russell with the reception. His second catch tonight. Once again, he played his high school football at Tampa's Gaither High, and Ron Hemingway able to make the tackle, but Russell was wide open.
Three-step drop. He was pressing him at the line of scrimmage. He lost him right at the line of scrimmage, and now he's trying to recover. Take a look at it right here. Again, the three-step drop. And that's what you want to throw against that coverage. That was cover 3.
From the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Louisville back on the march. Their first third down conversion. LaFour's incomplete, trying to hit Lionel Gates. Pass behind him, and LaFour's went down.
And that was a zone blitz by South Florida, taking a page out of the Buccaneers' defensive package that caused them some problems.
Louisville's won a pair of Conference USA titles, but Louisville now trailing for really one of the rare times this season. Undefeated coming in at 4-0. At the 25, 2nd down and 10. Play action. LaFour's thought about running. He had his tight end, Ronnie Gent, who made a big play a few moments ago, but not able to hold on that time. And this sets up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, and of course, this is the counter pass with trying to hit the tight end coming across the field. And he just misfires a little bit behind him. That's hard for a lefty to make that throw going to his right, Al.
Not only that, it looked like it was going end over end. Not exactly the smoothest of passes. That had to be a tough catch for Ronnie Gent. All right. Here you go. 1 of 5 on 3rd down. 3rd and 10 from the 25-yard line. Louisville looking for the answering touchdown. Another quick drop, and Craig Coble says you're not going anywhere. His 2nd sack of the season, and this will set up 4th down.
Full blitz, man-to-man coverage. And the best thing here now, this makes this a very long field goal attempt. And again, a key sack right here by Coble. That's a great job of beating the guard inside, and down he goes. This makes it now a long field goal.
Nate Smith on to try what appears to be a 47-yard attempt. And South Florida wants Nate Smith to think about this. He has a long of 48 this season.
You know, and they only, I was watching very carefully on their field goal setup. They only had the ball spotted 7 yards deep. Now, I bet that's exactly what Jim Levitt is telling his block team right here. I would think they'd have to get the ball to 8 yards, because on a long field goal, the ball has a tendency to go lower. You're going to see some inside leapers for South Florida, I'm sure, if they don't get the ball back a little deeper than that. They were only set at about 7 yards that time from the line of scrimmage. On a longer field goal, normally you're going to get it at 8 yards to give that kicker a little more time to get the ball up.
By the way, on the field for South Florida trying to block this field goal is number 15, Huey Whitaker, the fine wide receiver. He's 6'5", so you know he's going to be going right over the middle looking to block this try.
That's right. He's going to be a middle leaper. He's going to position his back right to the middle of the goalpost and try to time it up and get up as high as he can.
It'll be a 47-yard attempt. Nate Smith 4 for 4 this season. Again, has a long of 48 yards. Good snap, good hold, and it was blocked, and guess who? It was Huey Whitaker, the big 6'5" wide receiver coming in to knock that away.
Well, Al, that's exactly what happens on a long field goal. That's why the sack was so key, because on a long field goal like that, you want to try to block it up the middle, and he really hit this low, I think. Let's take a look. Javon Kamen and Whitaker. Let's see who gets it.
It was Huey Whitaker. He smothered that field goal attempt.
Great job of coaching by Jim Levitt. He's the one that called the timeout and set that block up.
Huey Whitaker's done it all tonight. He's got a touchdown pass and now blocks a field goal attempt. DeJuan Green trying to find some room over the 35-yard line. Very little gain. Bobby LeFew, the stop for Louisville.
And Al, I think this drive is really important now for the South Florida offense. They have to get a couple of first downs here and give their defense a chance to get a little bit of a breather.
The South Florida Bulls really have not had bad field position all night long. Ball marked at the 36. Second down and 9. 4 receivers for South Florida. Banks on the pump fake, and he gets nailed.
And Al, that's exactly what we were talking about. They had it set up outside against that quarters man coverage. They were trying to hit a stutter go route. See the arm fake right there? Unfortunately, the protection did not hold up, and down he goes. But you know what? In my opinion, they're making the right calls. You cannot let those corners squat like that, and you don't have to hit the pass necessarily. Believe me, that got their attention right there.
Brandon Johnson, Marcus Jones with the sandwich for Louisville. Third down and 18. Banks steps up. Elgin Hicks at the 40. Elgin Hicks trying to fight his way near the 45-yard line, but he will be shy by a couple of yards. Antoine Harris roped him in and was not about to let Elgin Hicks slip away for the first down.
You know what? That's 18 yards, though, of positive field position for South Florida.
And the way Justin Geisler hit his opening punt, that could be very important. Robert Haskins, you know he's going to have his eyes on Kenny Robinson because he was nailed the last time he tried to receive a punt. Brandon Baker standing at the 30-yard line. Steps into it again. A very long punt. Haskins just lets it go. Can the Bulls get to it? And was this another hit? Another penalty flag is down for South Florida. And Jim Leavitt doesn't agree with what he thinks this call will be.
That was Antonio Warren, a defensive back, covering outside. Oh, that's a tough call. He did make a little bit of contact. That's a mistake by Warren right there. That's a shame. 2 great punts by Baker. He's gonna follow him and trail him all the way to the bench.
So the penalty is on South Florida. It'll be 1st and 10 for Louisville at the 24-yard line. One more look. Antonio Warren. Was he blocked into him? That's what South Florida says. South Florida leads by 7. Remember, coming into this ball game, Louisville had trailed for only 38 seconds all season long. South Florida took the lead in the opening quarter, and Louisville has trailed since then. 14-7 the score. You know, loaded with 90 minutes of up-to-the-minute racing news and trackside analysis, the pre-race show, NASCAR This Morning, will put you in the driver's seat with everything you need to know about today's big race. Watch what the pros want. NASCAR This Morning, Sunday at 11 a.m. So the penalty for South Florida again on punt coverage, and Jim Leavitt's trying to get this crowd into gear, putting the pressure on Stephon LaFours and the Louisville Cardinals.
Well, they're up on their feet, and I'll tell you, this is a great scene here at Raymond James Stadium tonight.
More than 40,000 for Conference USA, the home debut for the South Florida Bulls in conference play. Eric Shelton gets it up over the 35-yard line before he's pummeled by Maurice Jones.
You know, and Maurice Jones used every bit of his 4.5 speed to get to that toss into the split end side. And Al, this is so great now to see this stadium jumping like this. And I tell you, Jim Leavitt and the South Florida, they continue to amaze me to be able to compete with a program like Louisville this fast.
Louisville, 5 straight bowl appearances. 2nd down and 7 at the 27-yard line. The option, LaFours pitches back, Shelton cuts it over the 30, tries to grind his way near the first down. Tim Jones, J.R. Reed, the tackle for South Florida. By the way, coming up at halftime, we'll have a very special look at J.R. Reed, the senior out of Hillsborough High School here in Tampa, the all-time interception leader for the Bulls with 12 picks. We'll talk to him about his career here at USF. And coach, here he is, a senior, one of the many seniors here for South Florida that have never lost a home game at Raymond James Stadium.
That's exactly right.
3rd and 1.
Unbalanced, unbalanced.
Play action. LaForce on the rollout. He'll run for it. Gets a first down. Faked out. Stephen Nicholas. And that was enough to get the first down. Beautiful run by LaForce.
That was a very well-designed offensive play. I think it was run first all the way. It's an unbalanced line. Nice fake by LaForce. And boy, he's athletic coming out here. And now you got a left-handed quarterback coming out to his left. Missed tackle right there. Nice job of getting the first down. Take a look at it right here. I don't know if I'd want to have my quarterback with all the concussion problems running as much as he's run the football tonight.
Missed most of last week's victory over Temple with a concussion. At the 42-yard line, first down. LaForce looking over the middle, has his tight end. Ronnie Gent, he's from Lakeland. He has a first down. Kevin Verpale knocked him out of bounds.
And he gets up doing some talking. And again, that's the same play that they ran earlier. It's a sprint option look. Take a look at it. Sprint option look. Watch the tight end delay and then come out right there. And they catch South Florida napping right there. That's a good design against this very reactive speed defense of South Florida. That's a well-designed play.
Kevin Verpale had a word for Ronnie Gent. Ball marked at the 45. Back-to-back first downs for Louisville. LaForce with time. Right in the hands of Broderick Clark. Clark could not pull it in. Coverage by DeJuan Brown.
Good pressure up front by the South Florida front. And of course, Jim is going to work these officials now. You have to. And LaForce is getting the signal from the sideline. That's going to set up a 2nd and 10. Let's see what the personnel grouping is. That's the key. South Florida is doing a lot of audibling on defense tonight based on the personnel groupings of Louisville.
Louisville scored the opening time to touch the football. Lionel Gay, 67 yards on a touchdown run. And the Cardinals have been blank since that time. Ball marked at the 45-yard line. 2nd down and 10. Movement up front. The penalty will be against Louisville.
And that was Renardo Foster, the great young freshman left tackle, 79.
Once again, Louisville 15 penalties last week against Temple. They had 31 coming into that ball game.
You saw the left tackle there just jump with 6'6", 310, and Bobby Petrino thinks he is going to be a great one. He's a redshirt freshman. He just moved from defense to offense.
From midfield. 2nd down and 15. Shelton with blocking. Gets away from Maurice Jones, and he gets a big chunk of that yardage back. Brought down just inside the 40-yard line.
Oh, I'm going to tell you now, there is some banging going on out here now. This is really the same trap play that South Florida. Watch this hit right here. Got the big 245-pound back. Wham! There's some banging going on.
Shelton, 151 yards and 2 touchdowns at Kentucky. 135 yards in the victory over Syracuse. 3rd down and 4. J.R. Russell not able to pull it in, so the Bulls able to hold on 3rd down again. 3rd down and 4, and Louisville looks like they're going to go for it, Coach.
Yeah, this is kind of never land right here from the 35 to the 40. You got to make a decision as a coach, and you're exactly right. They are lining up as though they're going to go for it. It's too long for a field goal attempt. Big play, 4th down and 4. Quick drop, LaForce
LaForce complete to Russell. Good for the first down. DeJuan Brown not able to get to him in time.
And that's the same slant pass that South Florida has run so well. The key is the split here, and watch this throw. Very accurate, low and inside, almost impossible to defend. Great execution by LaForce. You know, on short yardage like that, I'd really rather have my corners up pressing and not playing off.
At the 32, 1st and 10. The fake, LaForce steps up. Knocked away. Beautiful defensive play by South Florida. Bruce Gibson prevents the touchdown on one-on-one coverage.
The young corner out of Port Charlotte, and I'll tell you what, that ball was thrown over the top of the safety. That's a great individual effort by the corner. Play action, trying to run the post. He got the safety up a little bit. Wow, what a recovery by Gibson.
That is what you call defense. Reaches the hand in just in the nick of time to knock away what appeared to be the tying touchdown. At the 32, 2nd down and 10. LaForce changing the play. Lionel Gates in the backfield. The pitch to Gates already has one touchdown. Cuts it up. Kevin Verpail knocks him over.
Daddy Verpail. Kevin Verpail, outstanding senior safety here for South Florida, has 2 little girls at home, a 4.5-year-old and a newborn. It's a great effort here by Verpail. Watch him get in there and stick it right there.
Do you think he's taught them that move?
I think she
That's a way to
has.
take care of guys.
He's been a tremendous, tremendous football player for South Florida.
How about another big 3rd down play for this USF defense? Louisville on the march again. They trail 14-7. LaForce steps up. Nearly picked off by South Florida again. And guess who? Bruce Gibson. He has come up so big for the USF defense on this drive.
And that almost could have been called offensive interference because he really had the better position. And again, 4th down now, and the ball's at the 30-yard line. Take a look at the replay right here. Again, the play action fake. Pretty darn good throw by LaForce. Great defense right there by Gibson.
So after converting on 4th down the last time around, Bobby Petrino will try it again, only this time it is 4th down and 9.
And South Florida did not have the correct defensive personnel on the field. Wisely took a timeout. Too crucial of a play not to have your nickel defense out there.
3:43 left to go in the 2nd quarter. And South Florida owns a 7-point lead. They'd love to stop the Cardinals right here. (14-7) USF at the lead with a 4th and 9 coming up. By the way, new head basketball coach Robert McCullum leads USF basketball through a tough home schedule that includes Louisville, Marquette, and other top teams in the Dodge Shootout. Season tickets are available now, and individual game tickets go on sale October 14th. For more information, call 1-800-GO-BULLS.
You know, Al, I'll tell you, the wheels are really turning here now between Bobby Petrino and Jim Levitt, and of course Rick Kravitz, the South Florida defensive coordinator. What a great matchup, and I'll tell you, very well coached football team, both these teams offensively and defensively.
Louisville has already pulled a fake punt. You know they may have something special in store for this one on 4th and 9, looking for the tying score. The blitz by South Florida, and they're all over LaForce. It is a senior, Maurice Jones, along with Tim Jones on the hit. So the Jones gang coming through for South Florida.
And the last time Louisville came out, hit him on a slant route on that 4th down play. This time South Florida came up and they pressed the outside receivers. No chance for the slant, and great pressure up front. They blitzed him and got after him and pressed the outside corners. No place to go.
Here's a guy that should know something about sacks. Leroy Selman Jr. also in on the stop for South Florida. So South Florida holds on 4th down, and the Bulls get the football at the 46. Make that the 36-yard line, 1st and 10. DeJuan Green's had a big first half. He cuts it over the 40-yard line. Good gain on first down. Brandon Johnson, the tackle for Louisville.
Now South Florida has about 3:23, clock running, plenty of time to have some patience here. Work the ball down the field, try to get either a field goal or obviously a touchdown. Again, they're going to spread them out here. They've got them all spread out across the field. One back remaining in the backfield, Green.
2nd down and 4. Green again, following his blockers, gets nailed at the 42-yard line. Okoye, he's only 16 years old with the tackle. He's a freshman out of Huntsville, Alabama, the stop for Louisville.
And he is related to the other young man from Nigeria, Christian Okoye, who played, of course, for my old team, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Amobe Okoye, again, 16 years old, just a young kid.
300 pounds, 16 years old.
3rd down and 3 at the 43. Ronnie Banks under pressure. Can he get away? No. Marcus Jones, his 5th sack of the season, and Ronnie Banks never had a chance on that one.
No, and that's a mistake up front because Jones came from outside and he was totally unblocked. And Banks tried to avoid, but just couldn't. You watch him here from the left side of your screen, totally unblocked. And again, that's a big difference now between Banks and Marquell Blackwell. He's not quite as quick as Blackwell was. Has maybe a stronger arm, bigger, but not quite as quick as Blackwell. Was really something back there. We really enjoyed seeing him operate over the last 4 years.
If you love to watch sports that are highly unconventional, break all the laws of gravity, and aren't afraid to get dirty, then you should watch the groundbreaking show 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the latest extreme sports news from around the globe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, weeknights at 5 o'clock on Fox Sports Net. So Louisville will have 1:55 to try to tie things up. South Florida scored twice in the opening period after Louisville took the initial lead at 7-0 on a 67-yard touchdown run by Lionel Gates. And the Bulls marched right down the field the first time they touched the football. Huey Whitaker on the 14-yard pass from Ronnie Banks, and then moments later, it was DeJuan Green on a 5-yard touchdown run, and the Bulls lead 14-7. And now they will punt the ball away.
I'll guarantee you, Al, if we see a South Florida gunner interfere with the catch, you're going to see Jim Levitt absolutely explode on the sideline.
1:55 remaining first half. Brandon Baker has just boomed some punts. Robert Haskins back to receive, movement up front.
And Louisville was coming on the full block. They were coming on a full-scale block. And the outside rusher on their left side jumped a little bit. Now that is going to set up a 4th and about 2 or 3 for South Florida.
Look at that. Jim Levitt says it's on them, right?
What? Oh, you know what? I agree with Jim. I mean, they were clearly offsides. I can't believe that. They totally blew that call. No question about that.
They're trying to explain it to Jim Levitt. Levitt trying to make his case.
That was J.T. Haskins, number 31, from outside, and he clearly jumped and was offside. I saw no movement there for South Florida. Now maybe they're going to redo this and get this. No, they're not.
They want to put the clock back at 1:55. They clicked off 1 second. We're now ready to go. Robert Haskins back to receive.
They may come after this punt as well. Nope.
Baker gets it away, and it's very high, but off the side of his foot. And this will go out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So Louisville will have 60 yards to drive with 1:46 left to go in the first half.
That's a shame. And again, in talking to Jim Levitt, Brandon Baker's got tremendous ability and potential as a punter. But like a lot of young punters, he's inconsistent. We just saw it right there. That hurts. because now you had about an 18-yard punt there, and that gives Louisville good field position with really plenty of time on the clock.
The ultimate 2-minute drill, 1:46 for Louisville. Louisville looking for the tying points. Screen pass. Lionel Gates with the touchdown already, and he has all kinds of running room. Kevin Verpail bowled him down, but not before. A long gain of 23 yards and a first down for Louisville.
Well, Verpail saved a touchdown here, no question about that. Really had the screen set up well against the zone. Outstanding block by the wide receiver. That really was the key block to get that thing started.
At the 38, first down for Louisville. LaForge wants to take off and simply throws it away. The pressure from Craig Coble. Coble already has a sack tonight.
And that was a clear case of big tight end Ronnie Gent pushing off. That easily could have been an offensive interference call. I don't know if you'll see it right here at the bottom of your screen, but that's where he's trying to go with the football. He pushed off. Excellent coverage. Good pursuit by South Florida. Smart play. Throw it into the sideline.
Second down and 10. Louisville has 2 timeouts remaining. Coble with protection. Wide open with the flag down at the 30.
This may be offensive interference on a push-off. I would not be surprised at all. That was J.R. Russell. It's exactly what it was. No question about it. They pushed off 2 plays in a row.
Offensive pass interference against Louisville.
This is
Russell, 6'3".
Take a look at it right here. Watch. Oh, that's a clear case of offensive interference. Excellent call by the official.
Michael Irvin made a living doing that in the NFL.
Big receivers, you know, Al, I'll tell you now that if they learn how to be subtle doing it like Irvin wasn't always so subtle, but boy, he was great at doing it.
Those elbows can be nasty if you know how to do it right. Russell at 6'3", Hemingway at 5'11" has the big advantage now with 65 seconds left to go.
Second and about 24.
We're under a minute. Clock on the move. The clock at the top of your screen is not correct. The swing pass, and Lionel Gates saw he had nowhere to go. Leroy Selman on coverage for South Florida.
No, and of course Leroy, he wears number 93. That's the same number that his daddy wore in college. So that's terrific to see 93 out there in action. And I'm just sick about that. When I came here to the Bucks, I missed coaching Leroy by 1 year.
There's big number 93, and believe me, Lionel Gates says, I want no part of that. Leroy Selman Jr., 5'11", 280 pounds. LaFour's on the rollout. Wants to go deep and is picked off by South Florida. Now they're saying that Gibson was out of bounds. I'll tell you what, Gibson, despite the fact he was out of bounds on that play, has played an excellent second quarter.
Yeah, he stood out. That forces the punt. Now the question is, will South Florida, if I'm Jim Leavitt, I'm definitely coming after this punt on 4th and 25. I'm coming after this punt. Let's see if he does it.
Brian Fisher back to receive at the 10-yard line. Brett Moody, you know, he's going to be a little nervous at the 33. You know the Bulls are going to put the pressure on.
Here they come. Here they come.
The Bulls with nearly blocked. Kevin Verpail nearly pulled it off, and here's Brian Fisher on the run.
He might be gone.
Fisher with blocking. Brian Fisher down the sidelines, and they're saying he went out.
Oh, boy.
At the 45, and Jim Leavitt can't believe the call.
I hope we have a good angle of this because it was close.
How about that? The Bulls go after the punt. Kevin Verpail nearly knocks it down, and then the Bulls had the big return.
Let's take a look at it right here, Al. Yeah, right there. Good call by the official. About 2 inches, huh? No more.
Barely out of bounds.
Wow. Wow.
But the Bulls have excellent field position. Brian Fisher has done so much for this South Florida team. He has a big return to give the Bulls excellent field position at the 39 with 16 seconds remaining in the first half. Does he get out of bounds?
Right here, the next step, right there. And that was, you know, that really could have been called because that was actually a trip right there. Wow. Wow. Here it is again. Watch him throw the leg out there. That really should have been called.
The punter,
right?
Brent Moody.
You know, those soccer players, I'll guarantee he was a soccer player. They do that all the... I've had kickers in NFL Europe that do that all the time. They're not going to tackle somebody. They're just going to trip them. That should have been called. That's a 15-yard penalty.
Not only that, that was a touchdown for South Florida going into the locker room at halftime. They would have had a ton of momentum.
Well, a game of inches, Al. Wow. And I tell you, Fisher is a force back there. You know, South Florida, between DeAndre Rubin, what a spectacular punt returner he was, and now you got Fisher.
16 seconds. You know South Florida, if nothing else, will try to get the Bulls into field goal range for Santiago Gramatica. Gramatica has a long of 45 yards. So they need a good 20-yard gain in order to get into field goal range.
Yeah, they have one timeout left, so they can hit a throw again. Now, if Louisville comes out in cover 2, you're going to see South Florida try to hit a throw down the middle of the field, get the quick timeout, and get Gramatica on the field. Let's see what coverage now Louisville's going to play. They're not lining up in cover 2. Let's see what they end up playing. They're doing a lot of disguise into their coverage. You see both safeties right now. Look at both safeties are up within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. I'll guarantee you before the ball is snapped, you'll see them backing out. Are they going to back out all the way back to cover 2? Or are they going to back up and play their man quarters coverage?
They have put 3 seconds back on the clock, so this is even better for South Florida. 19 seconds remaining before halftime. South Florida with the lead. They'd love to add to this going into the locker room at halftime. At the 39. 4 wide receivers for South Florida. Banks under pressure. Hits Clinton Crosley.
Clock is running.
The Bulls have 1 timeout remaining.
Yep. They had to use it right there, and that was man-to-man quarters coverage. Straight man-to-man. Now, no timeouts left. They almost have to throw one up, in my opinion, Al. They've got 2 possible plays here. Either got to hit a deep out cut, get the clock stopped, get Gramatica on the field, or they got to put it up in the end zone twice. One of those 2. And Banks has got the arm to do it. He really does.
Banks, remember, had 11 completions in the first quarter alone. Had 137 yards in the first quarter alone, along with the touchdown.
You know, Banks has been very, very inconsistent so far. This is his first year as a starter. You know, he really has to grow within this offense. And I'll tell you, he's done a bunch of growing up tonight as a quarterback, because he has been very, very effective.
A big-time crowd here at Raymond James Stadium for the home debut of Conference USA for South Florida. 12 seconds remaining first half. South Florida up by 7. From the 38, 2nd down and 9. Quick drop. Incomplete to Huey Whitaker. 8 seconds remaining. And now Santiago Gramatica is coming on the field, and this will be a long field goal attempt.
54 yards. Wow. There's Santiago, and of course his brother watching on the sideline. How neat is that for our team to be here to see this?
It'll be officially a 55-yard attempt with 8 seconds remaining in the first half. Gramatica gets it away. The kick will be short. Was right on line, but the kick is no good. Martin said, good job, little brother. And that is the end of the first half. The South Florida Bulls gave up an early touchdown, but the South Florida Bulls come back with 2 unanswered scores, and the South Florida Bulls lead it by a score of 14-7 at halftime. South Florida in their home Conference USA debut. South Florida 2-1 on the season. All right, Jim Levitt, you gave up an early score, but you come right back with 2 touchdowns. Your thoughts on that first half?
Well, yeah, it was our fault on the score. Obviously, we just didn't play right, but that sounds pretty foolish, I guess. You know, it's a heck of a game. You know, a lot of different things happening both sides. Kicking game is going to be huge. Second half, got to have a lot of energy, 30 minutes.
All right, Coach, we'll see you then. Jim Levitt with the lead at halftime, 14-7. When we come back, we'll have the new head basketball coach of the South Florida Bulls, Robert McCullum. 14-7 the field, and the South Florida Bulls own the lead here at halftime by a score of 14-7 over one of the top offenses in all of college football, the Louisville Cardinals. And the Bulls would love to welcome Conference USA, a 2-time champion Louisville, into this type of environment with the loss. And here's a look at the opening touchdown. Lionel Gates turns that corner left side. He's gone 67 yards on the 4th play from scrimmage for Louisville.
Key play there really was the crack block by the wide receiver.
But the Bulls come right back down when they get the football, and they answer big time. Ronnie Banks looking for his big wide receiver, Huey Whitaker.
Boy, and the big guy is tough. When you get inside that red zone, what a great target.
Again, the Bulls tie the game at 7, and then later in the opening quarter, it is DeJuan Green. And look at the way he's able to turn the corner here after the fake and head for the end zone.
Great speed, getting right to the corner of the end zone. Outstanding block.
Jim Levitt, South Florida Bulls. Boy, is he intense or what? Look at that blood. How often do you see a coach with a bloody nose coming back out for the second half? That must have been some kind of speech at halftime.
He's ready to go. I'll guarantee you he was headbutting a wall or a player or something. You talk about intensity, buddy. He's got it.
South Florida, the head coach, Jim Levitt, all business as the Bulls are getting ready to open the second half. The bloody nose. I wonder if Petrino knows that over on the other sideline, thinking, do I have to match that?
Now, offensive guys, believe me, do not do those kinds of things. That's a defensive coach right there.
South Florida will get the football to open the second half.
Look at Jim. Boy, he is fired up. His intensity truly translates to the players on the practice field and on the game field as well.
And the way that South Florida has played here in the first half, you mentioned that there was a lot of intensity. They played very hard before this big crowd here at Raymond James Stadium, and a perfect opportunity here in Conference USA play. Let's remember, there are some bowl implications even at this point in the season, because if you start winning games in conference play, remember Conference USA has 5 bowls available. Now last year, South Florida went 9-2, didn't go to a bowl game. 9-2. With this team, chances are you'd be able to go to any of these bowl games.
Absolutely. And again, you know, Al, the biggest difference between these two teams in the first half was special teams. South Florida dominated the special teams. They blocked a field goal. They had a great kickoff return past midfield, which clearly set up the first touchdown and got that offense great field position.
Brian Fisher back to receive, along with Quentin Callum. And kicking off for Louisville, it is Nate Smith. 14-7 Bulls. They scored both touchdowns in the opening quarter.
And this kicker, now, I watched him in the pregame warm-ups. I mean, I don't think he really has the leg to consistently get it 5 yards deep in the end zone. I think they've got a good chance to possibly get another return going here.
Brian Fisher had a big punt return. In fact, may have taken it all the way for a touchdown right before the end of the first half. And I'm sure Louisville knows They don't want to kick it towards Fisher.
And Louisville's, they're kicking from their right hash, which tells me they're probably going to try to pin Fisher down somewhere between the hash and the numbers. Let's see where he tries to put this kick.
There's a referee taking a long walk back out to the field.
Now, I'm not sure what the delay is here, actually.
Apparently, he was on the phone upstairs. Do you think he's getting pepperoni with anchovies? Or could it be just a plain sausage?
Probably talking to his wife, telling her what time he'll be home tomorrow morning.
Or he was getting Jim Levitt a Band-Aid there for the nose. Nate Smith ready to kick off, and the second half is underway. Here's Brian Fisher, short kick. He'll take it at the 5-yard line. Fisher trying to cut it inside with the flag down. Knocked out of bounds at the 22-yard line by Dominic Dunbar. And it's holding against South Florida. And so for the first time tonight, the South Florida Bulls will have awful field position.
And what happened there, Al, is exactly like we thought. He hit the ball right down to the numbers, and South Florida tried to return it all the way across the field. And it, look at Jim, it is so often the case. That's when you draw a hold.
Return. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Take a look at it right there. Can't get the numbers, but that was a pretty good takedown.
South Florida will begin this drive inside the 10. Ronnie Banks' numbers in the first half. 13 completions in the opening quarter alone, along with the touchdown. Ball marked at the 9. First and 10 from there. South Florida cannot afford a turnover here. DeJuan Green gets to the line of scrimmage before he is buried from there. Marcus Jones, the stop for Louisville.
Absolutely terrible field position now to start the second half, and that is why special teams play is so important.
DeJuan Green, 47 yards in the first half, along with the touchdown. Gain of 1 yard on the play. Second down and 9. Again, the Bulls cannot afford a turnover here. They lead by 7. There was still time on the play clock.
But there was flag, I think. Oh boy, this is going to get them back even further. How about that for intensity right there?
Movement up front for South Florida, so this will take it back to the 5-yard line. Now it's second down and 14.
Now Louisville's going to a 3-man rush here. First time they've done this tonight. They've got 3 down linemen in the game. Now they switch to a 4-man rush. Ronnie
Banks under pressure. Had a wide open Allison Sheffield. Sheffield should have pulled that one in. He would have been very close to first down yardage.
Nice job of Banks stepping up in the pocket. Pretty good protection. Now he's got a gun. Watch him throw this ball in here against the zone right through his hands. Allison, you got to make that play, son.
So now it's third down and 14. And again, even if the Bulls do not get the first down here, the problem is they're losing a field position game against a very good offensive club. Banks from his own end zone under pressure. This time Sheffield holds on, but not able to get first down yardage.
That was a gun, Wate. He really got that ball there in a hurry on the outcut. He's got a strong arm. Banks does.
And it will give, this will give Brandon Baker some room with which to work in punting the football away.
Got to have a great punt right here. Got to have a great punt with great hang.
Robert Haskins back to receive, very near midfield.
He got it.
A long punt. Haskins back to his own 25.
He got a clip.
With a flag down. And the South Florida Bulls will back Louisville up the other way.
This should come back. Boy, that is just what the doctor ordered. What a heck of a punt by Baker. Let's see what the call is now here on the flag. Pushing the back. That is going to, Al, that is going to put it all the way down, I think, inside the 15-yard line.
Now, remember, the Bulls punted the ball away at the 19-yard line.
He almost fumbled that. There's the push in the back right there. Yeah, good call.
Javon Kamen got hit. He was hit by Dominic Dunbar. So now Louisville, instead of having excellent field position, is now backed up to its 12-yard line. You talked about the special teams, Coach.
That was a big-time play by the South Florida punt team, and Baker in good coverage. Unbelievable field position switch right there.
At the 12, 1st and 10, Louisville with the football for the first time here in the second half. They trail by 7. On the run, Eric Shelton, very little running room.
And again, Al, it looks to me like every time Louisville is coming out with 2 backs in the backfield, you're seeing South Florida jump up into an 8-man front and bring in Verpail right up into the box, again, to try to get that extra defender against the run.
You know, Eric Shelton came in averaging nearly 100 yards per game. So far, he's been held to 10 yards for this contest.
Unbelievable.
Quick drop. Nearly picked off. The Bulls had an opportunity there. J.R. Russell not able to pull it in, and that was up for grabs.
Yep, and we got a cramp here. We got definite cramp coming off the field, and here's another slant. And I'll tell you what, that ball really should have been caught. That was on the money right there. That was J.R. Russell. That was almost intercepted.
J.R. Reed on the hit.
How about that? J.R. Reed, J.R. Russell, and they talk by phone all the time. They're friends. They go back and forth.
There's a look of Johnny Jones on the sideline with the cramp at the 15. The crowd here at Raymond James trying to get loud. An option pitch. Shelton is brought down. Big time tackle by Bruce Gibson. Had an excellent second quarter. And he had one chance to knock Shelton down, and he does it, and Shelton does not get the first down.
Watch this tackle by the left corner. I mean, they clearly had the first down right there. That is a great effort right there by Shelton. I'll tell you what, because they really should have had the first down.
He is a yard shy. Brent Moody on the punt. Brian Fisher, who's been so dangerous tonight, back to receive, standing at his own 40. Are the Bulls going for the block here?
I think they're going to set up a return.
Fisher at the 40 has blocking. Fisher gets away. Fisher spins his way to midfield. Still an exciting play, and the Bulls will have excellent field position at midfield. Joshua Tinch, the stop for Louisville. 11:18 left to go. First half. South Florida still clinging to that 7-point lead. South Florida with the lead, and South Florida with the football at the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 from there. Brian Fisher with the big return, but he also had some blocking, Coach.
He sure did. We're going to look at number 4, Antonio Warren, right there. Now, he's blocking the gunner, and you just have to stay with him. Now, he had contact all the way down, and he was just enough contact to give Fisher a chance. You know, in blocking those gunners, there is an art to that, and I'll tell you, that is competition on the highest level. That is not an easy job.
Now Brian Fisher will step in at quarterback. Ronnie Banks comes off the field. Now there's a separate package here for Brian Fisher. Very quick, very dangerous on the run, and he'll keep it. Cuts back the other way. Brian Fisher, look at those moves. Wow. Brian Fisher very close to a first down, a 9-yard gain.
You know, I've just figured out the perfect quarterback. If you could combine a guy like Fisher with his quickness and running ability and the arm of Ronnie Banks, you would have a true superstar. Oh, that would be Michael Vick.
I was going to say his name is Michael Vick.
Look at the moves and the quickness there by Fisher.
And the Bulls coming right back the other way. DeJuan Green. Green fighting his way for a first down. Marcus Jones, a tackle for Louisville, but not before. DeJuan Green gets a first down for South Florida.
Boy, and I love it, Al. Big right tackle, number 79, Levi Newton, 6'4", 305. I'll tell you what, he had a great block. He's out there getting after it. This offensive line, I can't say enough of what they've done tonight. And kudos to Greg Fry, the offensive line coach. These guys are really playing at a good high level.
Fisher back in at quarterback for South Florida. The Bulls like what he brings as far as quickness is concerned with this matchup. Down to 10 seconds on the play clock.
The audible is coming from the sideline.
5 seconds. 3 seconds. Bulls have got to get it away. They do. DeJuan Green keeping the football, and that just never really worked. Brandon Johnson was able to string him out, and maybe a yard gain, if that.
Yeah, that play was kind of out of sync from the start, and then you really had to hurry up and get the snap. And that's what can happen when you put a guy in a quarterback who's not used to playing the position. Now remember, Al, all the audibles, or most of them, come directly from Rod Smith on the sideline, the pass game coordinator. He looks at the defense. You see Ronnie Banks looking over. He's looking to the sideline.
15 on the play clock. Quick drop. Huey Whitaker complete. That was a dangerous pass in that. Louisville was coming up to make the play. Kerry Rhodes may have had a beat on that, but the pass was down low, so the only one that could make the catch was Huey Whitaker.
Yeah, let's take a look at it right here. Well, that's a catch. Now, I'll tell you what, I mean, they cannot allow these corners to squat like this. You're going to have to run a stutter step go, you know, a quick hitch and go. You cannot allow them to squat on you like they're doing.
3rd down and 7. Banks under pressure, steps up. Elgin Hicks, does he have it? The official says yes.
Wow.
And that is enough for a first down. No, wait, they're saying the ball was intercepted.
Yes, absolutely. That was the call right from the start.
William Gay with the pick. It looked to me like Elgin Hicks may have pulled it in. Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's take a look at it right here. Now, here's the throw by Banks. Let's take a look. Well, boy, you can't tell from that angle, but that would be, if he did intercept it, that would have been incredible. I don't think so, but again, not a clear picture.
So a missed opportunity for the South Florida Bulls. They had the ball over midfield and get nothing for it. They continue to lead by 7. LaFors hits J.R. Russell, and Courtney Davenport says you're going nowhere.
And that's an outstanding job by a linebacker against a wide receiver out in space. Well, that interception, you know, again, in all fairness, we did not have a great view of it from our angle here.
Gain of 6 yards on the play, 2nd down and 4. Lionel Gates again tripped up. Stephen Nicholas pulls him down. Excellent tackle by Nicholas.
You know, and Stephen Nicholas now, first game as a starter, and Jim Levitt was excited about him in terms of, they found him here during those 2-week bye weeks. Let's take a look at it right here, and you see right there, that's a great job of fighting off the block. He's a big kid. He's just learning how to play. 6'3", 255, outside linebacker.
Another huge 3rd down play. 3rd down and a very long 4 from the 32. LaFors cuts it up. Close to a first down. It all depends on the spot here.
He's definitely short, and I think the official has a good spot on the ball. His knee was clearly down. He would have had to have gotten to about the 36.5-yard line. No way. I mean,
He appears to be about a half-yard shy.
Yeah, he definitely was down. I don't even like that spot. I thought he really barely got to the 35. Let's take a look. He's got to get to about the 36 and a half. Let's take a look at it right. His knee's down right there clearly at the 35-yard line. And he's going to be short.
Just by inches.
Yeah.
Now here's a gutsy call. Bobby Petrino. Do you go for it or do you punt?
No, you got to punt here. Not against this defense.
Well, guess what, Coach?
Yeah, you're right.
Although he could try to draw them off sides.
Yeah.
Fourth down and inches. Louisville hit an earlier fourth down try. Missed on another. Shelton able to bowl his way. That's called 6'3", 245 pounds, doing the dirty work for him. He's able to get the first down.
Now, if you're a defensive background coach, you punt it there. If you're an offensive background coach, you can go for it.
First down for Louisville. Ball marked at the 37-yard line. Louisville has had the football throughout this third quarter. Play action. Little rollout for LaFours. Gets away from Tim Jones. And he threw that away.
That was pretty good defense by Levitt on the sideline. He almost went up and got a piece of that. Let's take a look at the tight end on this play. Again, they're trying to work the tight end across the field. Now, we've seen this a number of times tonight. Take a look at the tight end. They're 86 coming. They're going to double him. And oh, now you got Jones on him, and he can run with him. Give him. Well, there's a little grabbing and pushing on both sides right there. That's two really good athletes.
Ronnie Gents from Lakeland. Second down and 10. The pitch. Lionel Gates cuts it up. Whoa, how about Kevin Verpale with the lick? Bruce Gibson also in on the tackle for South Florida.
There's some banging going on out there. Take a look at this hit. Here comes the toss. Yeah, this looks like John Lynch coming up here with Verpale right here. Watch him. He's got a beat on him. Whack! Right there.
J.R. Reed holds him up. Kevin Verpale finishes things. Look at that.
Boy, these backs for Louisville, both of them, man, they run north and south now.
Gates, 6 feet, 220 pounds. Already has a 67-yard touchdown run. That's the only score tonight for Louisville. Third down and 4. LaFleur's knocked down by South Florida. The defensive play by Terrence Royal, the sophomore out of Wharton High here in Tampa.
And he was coached by a young guy by the name of Richard Woods. Kind of a legendary name here in Tampa, and currently my defensive line coach in Frankfurt, Germany, and NFL Europe. What a heck of a guy he is.
Batman Woods, one of the great names in Buccaneer history. What a great job he did at Wharton High School. Last year, took them to the championship game. And then he became Coach Graber's linebacker coach.
He did a great job for me, too, I'll tell you.
Brian Fisher back to receive. Moody on the punt. Fisher at the 20. He is so tough to bring down.
Yeah, you know, and he's small, but he's very, very strong. Very strong.
6:33 left to go in the third quarter. South Florida has not been able to do much since scoring the 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Once again, 6:33 left to go in the third. A big crowd here at Raymond James. They'd love to see their Bulls win this Conference USA showdown. The road trip experience is something no Bulls fan should miss. So be sure to join the Green and Gold on the road in 2003. Do you think Keyshawn Johnson will go to a road game for the South Florida Bulls? For information on game tickets and pregame tailgate parties for Southern Miss, East Carolina, or Memphis, call the USF Athletic Association at 813-974-7490.
You know, it's great to see the Bucks out here supporting their local college program. Fantastic for these kids to see Keyshawn Johnson and Booger McFarland on the sideline supporting them.
At At the 23, Ronnie Banks back in a quarterback for the South Florida Bulls. Slings it. He hits Sheffield at the 30-yard line. Good gain on first down.
Again, now that time they played the cover 2 zone. Nice job of reading it. Pull up on the hitch, throw it in there. Just to, throw and catch. It's not counting. Now they got to get a couple first downs here to help their defense out.
9-yard gain. DeJuan Green looking for that first down yardage. Sticks his nose in there. It appears to be about a yard shy, and this will set up third down and short.
And I'll tell you, this Louisville defense really, really runs very, very well. I mean, they strung that right to the sideline. And it starts with McHugh, the great middle backer, 54, 4.5, 40. He can really, really run.
How about that for a spot, Coach? It's good for a first down.
Tight end in the game now. They're going to try to run it a little bit, it looks like.
From the 34, DeJuan Green again, and he is nailed. Antoine Harris, nobody blocked him. He came in on an angle, and he just ripped.
Yeah, they ran
into DeJuan Green.
They ran the corner blitz, and you really have no answer. Look at right here. You cannot block the corner outside, and that's him making the play right there. You've got to attack these corners now. You can't let them. You can't let them blitz. You can't let them squat on you. You got to get a ball down the field and try to make them look bad.
Second down 9. A wide receiver screen. Huey Whitaker had that big first quarter. Gets it over the 40-yard line. This will set up third down and 4. Kerry Rhodes coming in to tackle the big 6'5", 225-pound Huey Whitaker.
Absolutely, absolutely crucial third down right now at this juncture in the game.
5 minutes remaining in the third. Whitaker, most of that production coming in the opening quarter. At the 41, third down and 3.
Oh boy.
Movement up front for South Florida. Ronnie Banks gets leveled at the 40.
Yeah, the running back definitely moved. Got antsy, and they may decline this penalty because I didn't see any flag come early. They may just decline it because he's short of the.
Illegal motion on the offense. Penalty is refused. Fourth down.
Yep. Okay, here comes the special teams now. Any close game like this is normally decided by the special teams.
Brandon Baker has had a big ball game as far as punting the football is concerned. Robert Haskins back to receive. Haskins standing at his own 20-yard line.
They look like they're going to rush. No, pull out.
Baker trying to angle this, does a great job. And look at this. Look at this. Can it get any closer than that? Antonio Warren with the honors. What are they saying there? Are they saying? No, it is inside the 1-yard line.
Okay, I thought he signaled touchdown because there's no way. Boy, what a great play by Warren.
That is tonic for the South Florida defense.
Nice job. He's got some pressure. He gets it off pretty good. Good time by Baker getting the ball off. That's just a great effort play by Warren.
You know what? That hit like a pitching wedge and just stopped. Inside the 1. And the South Florida defense will try to make the most of this.
I'm anxious to see the personnel grouping here in Louisville if they come with 2 tight ends. And they do. They've got 2 tight ends.
First and 10 at the 1. How about that stop? USF defense. Terrence Royal among the tacklers for USF.
And this is great, Al. The crowd is into the game. The noise levels are very, very good. And folks, if you have not been to a game, a South Florida game, you need to come out and see this. High end zone here. Let's take a look at it. Good fundamental defense right there. And that was
Craig Coble also on the stop.
Yep.
Fumble in the end zone. LaForce picks it up, and it works out for Louisville. J.R. Russell on the reception. That looked like it was going to be a disaster for Louisville, and it ends up being an 8-yard gain.
Unbelievable. Take a look at this. Unbelievable.
Comes right back to him.
Wow. Well, they were very, very fortunate there. That was a nice hop, nice bounce of that ball coming right back up.
3rd down and 2. Ron Hemingway, the stop for South Florida. LaFleur's numbers. Number 4 nationally in passing efficiency coming into the game.
Well, this is going to be close.
Eric Shelton on the carry. Let's see where they spot this.
This is going to be very, very close. And what a nice thing it is to have a 245-pound back. Yep, 1st and 10.
Just enough for the 1st down. Shelton 151 yards and a pair of touchdowns at Kentucky. 135 yards in the victory over Syracuse. 2:55 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Again, tough run coverage by USF. Stephen Nicholas, the stop for the Bulls.
And it looks like, at least if you watch this drive now, it looks like Bobby Petrino has just said, fellas, we're supposed to be able to run the football. We have not run it very well. We're going to hunker down and we're going to run it.
Again, this is a team that came in averaging more than 200 yards on the ground against a Kentucky and a Syracuse.
17th in the nation in rushing offense.
Shelton with running room, but he's pulled down at the 18-yard line. J.R. Reed with the stop.
That's the misdirection play, and that bounces all the way outside, right to the safety. Let's take a look at it here. Here's the misdirection, counter coming back, and there's JR right there on the spot. Also Hemingway, Davenport.
3rd and 2. Shelton again, only this time he is stopped by Cedric Battles. A tackle for a loss.
Penetration stops the running game every single time. South Florida's basically a one-gap. They're small. They're a lot like the Bucks, Al. They're very, very small and quick up front, and watch the penetration right there. Splits the double. Wow. That is a great, great play by Battles. And their coach is not happy with his guard at all. Not one tiny bit.
Brian Fisher standing back, oh so dangerous, at his own 45-yard line.
Should get good field position here.
Brett Moody, the punt. Gets it away under pressure. Tries to angle it. Fisher on the run. Takes it at the 42. Had no place to go. And the Bulls will get excellent field position at the 42-yard line.
That is a great punt by Moody because he put him right on the sideline. He really had no chance.
46 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. South Florida 2 touchdowns in the 1st quarter. They still lead by 7. Look at this crowd at Raymond James Stadium trying to get the Bulls, trying to give the offense some help. Getting the wave going. South Florida with the football at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10. Now Jim Levitt saying, quiet down, guys. We have the football.
We're on offense now. Back down a little bit. Back down a little bit. Well, they've got to get this in. Jim is not happy with that.
And now the crowd is saying, come on, guys, use your head here.
Exactly.
I wouldn't want to make a coach mad that had a bloody nose coming out for the 2nd half. Ronnie Banks under pressure, lays it out there for Sheffield. Sheffield appears to have 1st down yardage near the 45-yard line.
You know, the way this game is going defensively, you would certainly like to tack on a field goal at least on this drive. Boy, you know, that is Robert McEwen, their outstanding middle backer that's skimping around here. Number 54, right there making the tackle. Boy, what a loss that would be. He is their best defensive player.
McEwen came into the game number 2 in Conference USA with 48 tackles, had 17 tackles against Temple.
take a look at it. Let's see if we can figure this out.
Ooh.
Wow.
Got hit by one of his own players.
Hard to see exactly what happened there. I hope he, yeah, he looks okay coming. Look at that, man.
Look at the arms.
Woo! He put it together. Whoa.
Looks like a Buccaneer running back, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Either Michael Pittman or Thomas Jones.
6'1", 240-pound Robert McCune. That's good to see him get up and get off field, look okay. You know, the Bucs have a couple of Louisville grads. I'm sure they're here someplace tonight in Roman Oben and Dwayne White.
Dwayne White.
Yeah, he's a rookie from Louisville.
First down at the 46-yard line. DeJuan Green, quick feet. Just shy of the 40, but a good gain on first down.
Good.
Marcus Jones, the tackle for Louisville.
Good positive yardage on 1st and 10. Again, Levi Newton, number 79. That was a tackle trap. Well executed. Okay, here comes the 4th quarter. There's the 4 fingers up. Jim Levis says, let's go. There's Pastor Dave Lane saying, let's go.
The end of the 3rd quarter. South Florida took the lead in the 1st. They're still holding on to that 7-point advantage before a big crowd against Louisville. Welcome back to Raymond James Stadium. The start of the 4th quarter. And the South Florida Bulls, there is Jim Levitt trying to get his Bulls in gear, leading 14-7. A big 15 minutes remaining. Quick pass, Ronnie Banks.
Wow.
Did he pick that up off the ground? Huey Whitaker he looked like Nomar Garcia-Parra bringing that in.
Unbelievable. Take a look at this. You think the big guy doesn't have some hands? Watch him pick this one right off the grass. Wow.
And that's good for a first down for South Florida.
Now, you know, Al, I really think that South Florida here has got to run their offense. You know, surely you'd like to run the ball and take time off the clock, but that's not necessarily what they do best.
At the 36, 1st and 10.
They're pressing Huey Whitaker. Possible time to throw it up. No, there it is.
Pump
There's
fake.
the hitch and go.
Fakes.
Oh, that's
going deep. Yeah. Overthrows everybody. Looking for Huey Whitaker. Coverage by Kerry Rhodes of Louisville.
And that was outstanding coverage there. And Huey Whitaker kind of quit on that play a little bit. And that you can't hang your quarterback out like that.
After 3 quarters, things semi-close as far as first downs are concerned and total yards. But South Florida owns the major step. The one on the scoreboard, leading 14-7.
And they've dominated the special teams tonight. No question, that's been a huge factor in this game.
2nd down, 10. 19-32, 196 yards. 2 picks, 1 touchdown. Banks over the middle, tries to thread it in there, and it's picked off by Louisville. J.T. Haskins on a dangerous pass over the middle. 2 Louisville Cardinals in the neighborhood. And Haskins picks it off.
Outstanding protection up front. They ran a twist. Everybody got picked up. Look at the offensive line. A nice job protecting. They're playing a zone. And that is a great, great job of covering in the zone. A terrific job by Haskins. You see right there, Ronnie got locked on his receiver with his eyes a little bit, and that's what happens in a zone.
Well, the South Florida defense has stopped Louisville since its opening drive. Can the Bulls do it again? Bulls lead by 7. Play action. LaForce, all kinds of time. Complete to a tight end at the 40-yard line. That's good for a first down. J.R. Reed on the tackle.
That's big Richard Owens. 6'5", 275. They say he is an definite NFL prospect as well. They've got 2 outstanding tight ends.
at the 41. First down for Louisville. Louisville trailing by 7.
Reverse.
Near midfield, pulled down at the 47-yard line. Robert Haskins. Courtney Davenport, the stop for South Florida.
Boy, you know, that again shows the speed of the South Florida defense, because they really have this set up nicely. And I'll tell you what, Davenport does a great job of getting off that block right there. And J.R. Reed is Johnny on the spot as well. Great speed. There's nothing like it.
Second down and 3 at the 48. Gates hit at the line of scrimmage, maybe gets a yard. Tim Jones all over him to pull him down. 36,000, a Raymond James record for South Florida football, and how appropriate.
Boy.
Here in the home debut of Conference USA for South Florida.
And they are seeing an outstanding football game.
Third down and 2 at the 49. The Bulls defense has been able to stop Louisville throughout. Big third down meeting here. Haskins in motion. LaFours rolling out. LaFours finds J.R. Russell, good for the first down. Excellent patience by LaFours.
That is a terrific play by LaFours, and I talked to Coach about him this week, and I'll tell you, that's what he likes about him. He's very, very patient. Look at the eyes here and the vision. They've got this play very well defended. He's got a very, very quick release. That's J.R. Russell, Gaither High School, Tampa, Florida.
14 of 31, 161 yards, and an interception. 12:30 left to go in regulation. South Florida hanging on to that 7-point lead. Sunday night on the critically acclaimed documentary series Beyond the Glory, get to know the real story behind the greatest skateboarder who ever lived, Tony Hawk, the godfather of the sport credited to bringing extreme sports to the forefront of American sports. Hear Tony's story Sunday, 9 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Net. 12:30 left to go in the contest, at least regulation. 14-7, South Florida with the lead over Louisville. Once again, Louisville came in with one of the top offenses in the country. And South Florida, who shut out Army, able to stop Louisville so far. And there's a guy that's had a big ball game, Bruce Gibson, and he may be out for a while.
Well, that would be a really tough loss for South Florida. And there's another tough loss. Chris Iskra, outstanding senior receiver, who dislocated his elbow early in training camp and then came back, and he's got a hamstring pull. That's why he's not playing tonight. And they really miss that big receiver. They'll miss this guy too. And you see that's Dennis Walls, the trainer for Steve Walls, the trainer for South Florida, helping him off.
First down for Louisville. Ball marked at the 44-yard line. Stephon LaFours. Bobby Petrino, the new head coach at Louisville. 4-0. LaFours straight back. Going deep, wide open. He's got Tinch. Tinch inside the 10-yard line.
Well,
Joshua Tinch.
What a great play by LaFours, because he got nailed from the blind side just as he was throwing this football. I don't even know how he got it off. Watch this from the blind side. You're going to see it. Watch, right? Bam.
Craig Coble with the pressure. And Tinch, he got the matchup he wanted. Isolated against a linebacker. Louisville knocking at the door for the first time since the first quarter. Lionel Gates has the only touchdown for Louisville. gets to the line of scrimmage before he's buried by Tim Jones. Ron Hemingway also coming in to make the stop, along with Maurice Jones.
Tell you, this South Florida defense, they have played their heart out tonight. You see now Coble coming off kind of limping a little bit. He's undersized, and he's been battling all night in there. He's been playing some in, some tackle. Needs some noise now.
At the 6-yard line. 2nd and goal. The pitch. Here's Gates with blocking. And the Bulls get him just over the 5-yard line. Kevin Verpail with the stop for South Florida.
They brought the wide receiver in motion in, tried to crack Verpail. Nice job of him reading it, getting off the block and making a play. Take a look. See the wide receiver in motion? There's the crack right there on Verpail. And he is fighting off the crack block and makes the play. That's great effort by the senior.
DeJuan Brown with the initial penetration.
Yep.
All right, this Bulls defense has faced some crucial 3rd down plays. None bigger than this. 3rd and goal from the 4. LaFours, the rollout wide open in the end zone. Richard Owens, his 2nd touchdown reception of the season. And Louisville 1 point away from tying things.
That is one of the toughest plays to defend in the red zone that you're ever going to see. And a lot of times teams will actually have that tight end fall down, then get up and go across the field on the play action. Let's see right here, you'll see him come. He did fall down, he fell down. You drop the man coverage on him, and then he gets up and comes across the field.
Look how open he is.
Yeah, you know what, Al, I've seen it happen many times.
Nate Smith ties it at 14.
All right, let's see if South Florida can answer the bell.
Now the last time Louisville scored, South Florida drove right down to answer. We're all tied at 14 at Raymond James Stadium. Fantasy football players, listen up. Now there's a show just for you with 30 minutes of who to start, who to sit, who's the player you need to pick up. Our experts do the work to help you like you look like a genius. The ultimate fantasy football show tonight and Sunday morning only on Fox Sports Net. Some of the 36,000 here at Raymond James, and take another look at this play.
Here's the old tight end fall down. Take a look at it. He comes off the line of scrimmage, blocks, falls down, sneaks right across the field. They've dropped the man-to-man coverage on him. You know, that play works almost every single time in the red zone.
Quentin Callum, Brian Fisher back to receive. Jim Levitt's team took the lead in the 1st quarter. They've held it until just now. 10:15 left to go in regulation. Short kick. Fisher at the 10. Is he pinned in? Gets away from one tackler. Hammered from there. William Gay, the stop for Louisville.
Well, you know what now? Now Louisville's starting to pick up the pace on their special teams. Again, that kick was meant, and he pinned him right into the corner. And the key there was the kick. That was a great kick, not deep, but the location was the key.
Brian Fisher not going in at quarterback. It's still Ronnie Banks.
10 minutes, Al. Plenty of time.
At the 16. Banks decides to run. Banks over the 20-yard line. A good gain on 1st down.
Positive yardage, a good 5-yard gain. And I'll tell you, this Louisville front now is cranking it. They really were cranking it that time and getting up the field. Take a look at the penetration right here, and you'll see it. Watch this Louisville front 4. Yeah, I'll tell you that they're 290, 300 across the board. Very athletic. Nice job of Banks making a positive play.
The Bulls need to put together a long drive to keep their defense off the field. Banks looking deep. Huey Whitaker overthrows him. Had one-on-one coverage.
Now, the key thing there, you know, if you've got a 6'5" wide receiver, you've got to give him a chance. I mean, he's going to go up. He's got the advantage. Don't overthrow it. Give him a chance to go up and get it.
3rd down and 5.
Big play here. Field position, everything. Defense just was on the field for a long drive.
Louisville with the momentum. 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. Banks going back the other way. Incompletes. Joe Bain trying to bring it in. Ball was low. So Louisville starting to feel it right now.
Yeah, they had a double. Look at the safety. See the safety in the corner? That's the corner's coverage where you're going to double that wide out.
Brandon Baker to punt. Haskins back to receive for Louisville. Haskins standing at his own 40. Baker's had some excellent punts tonight. The Bulls need a big one right here.
They certainly do. And
they get it. Very high punt. Haskins at his 32-yard line, and he is buried. Javon Kamen, the stop for South Florida.
Great punt, great coverage.
We're under 9 minutes. Tied at 14. This is Conference USA football at its best. Live from Tampa. Tied at 14. The South Florida bench. The Bulls have just lost the lead for the first time since the opening quarter, and there is one of the busier men for the South Florida Bulls, Brandon Baker. Excellent numbers. He's done what he could to try to give the Bulls decent field position tonight.
And I'll tell you what else, Justin Daniel, the long snapper, has had a great night too, and that really helps the punter get into a rhythm.
Stephon LaForce threw a 4-yard touchdown pass to Richard Owens. Last time out, that has tied the game at 14. More than 36,000, the largest South Florida crowd here at Raymond James Stadium. And the Bulls need to draw upon that strength from their crowd right now. They have a 20-game home winning streak, the second longest in college football, on the line. LaForce, play action. He hits Michael Bush coming out of the backfield. Big gain.
There's that great true freshman, Michael Bush. Boy, what an athlete he is. And again, they got the matchup they wanted. They had him against the backer. And that's twice now they victimized South Florida with this matchup. He simply runs an out and up. Boy, he's big too. Bush is, what, 6'3"? 250. 6'3", 250. Bush is. Wow.
At the 42, 1st and 10. LaForce looking over the middle, wide open. Haskins, great moves, brought down at the 10-yard line. Kenny Robinson prevents a touchdown.
Well, Louisville has all the momentum. Again, this is the 3rd time tonight they've run this. Play action, coming across the field. J.R. Reed loses his feet. Big gain for Cardinals. Hit upside the head, a hand to the face. Couldn't hear exactly the call. Wow, boy, this hurts. Down to the 5-yard line, Alkek.
And it'll be 1st and goal from there. 8:38 remaining. Moments ago, LaForce threw a 4-yard touchdown pass to Richard Owens to tie the game.
They're going to have to take a timeout. They did not have the right personnel on the field defensively. Rick Kravitz is not happy about that, nor is Jim Levin.
Their first timeout of the second half. Crowd of some 5,000 fans from Louisville traveling to Tampa. to take this all in.
Well, at this juncture now, South Florida really needs a big play defensively, turnover. They need something good to happen to get this momentum turned back going the other way. 8:28 left here. 2 consecutive big pass plays. Both of them very well schemed offensively by Bobby Petrino, the Louisville head coach. One, they isolated Bush, a great freshman athlete, against the linebacker. He beat him down the sideline. The second one was the hard play action, again with the receiver coming all the way across the field, similar to the tight end fall down.
Tied at 14, 8:28 remaining in regulation. The South Florida defense has been on the field throughout the second half.
Yeah, they really have.
Stephon LaForce has played a gutsy game. He's had to endure that quickness of the South Florida Bulls. Again, this big Louisville crowd, they're going right towards the Louisville crowd. They'd love to regain the lead right here. First and goal from the 5.
Go backs. Double reverse.
Here's a reverse, and the pass to a wide open LaForce. Touchdown, Louisville.
What a well-executed play. I'll tell you, I got to take my hat off to Bobby Petrino. He really has a great ability to scheme plays to beat a particular style of defense. That was very difficult to stop. And again, there's Bush. And again, this is the great freshman right here, getting the handoff. Look at him throw the football. Boy, I'll tell you, that's a terrific offensive play. Big play for Louisville.
Nate Smith, 2 for 2 tonight. 19 of 19 on the season. 21-14, Louisville.
Now, the good news for South Florida, they do have the speed and the ability offensively to get the ball down the field and tie this thing up. No question about that. If Louisville makes a mistake, they're gonna take advantage. Take a look at it here. Look at this play. You can see it coming from up here. Double reverse, throw back. Very well designed play. Throw back to the quarterback. Again, in man-to-man, Al, nobody is normally assigned to the quarterback. Therein lies the problem. Terrific designing of an offensive play in the red zone.
The South Florida Bulls able to answer in the first quarter. But Louisville has scored twice here in the fourth quarter. Louisville back on top, 21-14. Quentin Callum, Brian Fisher back to receive for South Florida. LaForce, again, a gutsy ball game. 1 touchdown pass, 1 touchdown reception.
Need a good positive return. You know, you got to give Louisville credit now. In the second half, their special teams have really made a big difference in this game. They're going to try to pin them in here again. Yep.
Nate Smith at the goal line. This is Brian Fisher. Fisher trying to stay alive, pulled down at the 18-yard line.
Again, trying to run the return all the way across to the opposite side of the field. That's tough to do.
Market at the 19. South Florida will take over. 1st and 10 from there. South Florida, the offense has been very quiet since the opening period. The Bulls scored a pair of touchdowns in the first quarter. Nothing since then. In fact, they have had very few first downs since then. Screen pass. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. DeJuan Green just leveled by Robert McCune.
Yep, and he's back. He's back. Look out. Well, I'll tell you now, that's a big-time middle linebacker in college football right there. Tom Jackson was a linebacker that played at Louisville of ESPN now. Heck of a player.
No gain on the play. Banks under pressure, lays it out there for Green, behind him, incomplete. The last thing the South Florida Bulls need right now is another 3 and out.
And right there on that play, Derek Sarosi really had his hands full, and he just could not get Marcus Jones blocked. Ran right by him. Again, remember, this Louisville front four now, they lead the Conference USA in sacks for the season, and they've got some guys that can play.
4 wide receivers. 3rd and long. Movement up front.
Start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
And again, you know, when you start getting beat a little bit, you start getting tired as an offensive lineman here in the 4th quarter. The defensive lineman moved, he flinched. There was the difference. That was Sarosi. Pretty obvious that Ronnie Banks is going to have to get this ball out of here fast because they're really struggling getting them blocked.
Yeah. Overthrows Elgin Hicks.
And again, that's all by the pressure of the front four. The front four of Louisville has taken this game over in the 4th quarter.
7:20 remaining. Jim Levitt trying to help his defense.
You know, and really one of the keys for Louisville is they have rotated 8 defensive linemen in this game, and now in the 4th quarter, their starters are fresh.
Brandon Baker to punt. Robert Haskins to receive near midfield. Haskins knocked out of bounds at the 45. Now Louisville has the clock on its side along with the scoreboard. Louisville also has a very dominant running game, although we haven't seen much of it since the opening quarter. But I would not be surprised at all, Doug Graber, to see them try to pound the football right now and try to control this clock.
And they've got a tired South Florida defense. No question about that. That's the one big difference right now in these programs. South Florida does not have the depth that a Louisville program has, where they have been able to rotate 8 defensive linemen throughout this football game, and now in the 4th quarter it really shows.
Bobby Petrino's Cardinals have scored twice here in the 4th quarter. They lead. Play action. LaForce goes long and overthrows J.R. Russell.
Well, you know, LaForce is really, really athletic. As you see him, you got to be impressed with him. He's 4th in the nation in passing efficiency. He certainly has not done that tonight, but watch his athleticism here. Chopped right there. It's a legal block. Smart to throw that one out of bounds.
7:02 remaining. 2nd and long from the 46.
He's an audible.
Shelton, the ball carrier.
Well, J.R. Reed came up and put a hat on him. I'll tell you now, that was just simply the G play. It's called the G play because the front side guard pulls, trying to kick out, create a grab. Take a look at it right here. You see the front side guard pull. That's the G scheme. Kicking out on the defensive end, trying to get through. Look at J.R. Reed come up there, hat to hat. Man, there has been some violent football played here tonight. A lot of big hits.
A huge play on 3rd down. 3rd down and 7. Nail button time for Jim Levitt. LaForce under pressure, nearly pulled down. LaForce gets away, but does not gain enough. Nowhere near 1st down yardage. Maurice Jones, a stop.
Boy, you saw every bit of that 4-5 speed by that middle backer. He saved the day right there. Excellent, excellent effort by Jones. Watch him run this quarterback down. Jones is 245 pounds. It looked like he might have got a hand on a...
Whoa, whoa.
I think the Bulls got away with one right there. It would have been incidental, would have been a 5-yard penalty, and it still would not have been a first down.
Brent Moody punting for the first time in a long time. Brian Fisher back to receive at the 10-yard line. The Bulls need a big return here. Louisville working the clock.
Going for it.
Just able to get it away. Fisher at the 12. Fisher with speed.
Look out.
Fisher with the lane. Fisher at the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Bulls offense dormant since the opening quarter. 5:06 remaining. Down by 7.
You know, Al, the interesting thing is, both times South Florida has come after, have tried to block the punt, that's when they've had their best returns. The one, let's not forget the one where his foot was out of bounds right before the half, about 3 inches.
And he had been tripped. Ronnie Banks needs some magic here. 4 wide receivers, then the handoff. That's Quentin Callum to the 40-yard line. Good gain on first down. Make that Clinton Crosley. William Gain the stop.
The whole intent of that play was to get this front four to play the run a little bit as well, because the last 2 series now, look at it's just the draw. The last 2 series, they're up the field so far, they can't make the play on the draw. You've got to give them 2 things to defend. If they're one-dimensional and get up the field, you got problems.
A 7-yard gain. 4:32 and counting. The Bulls have 2 timeouts left. Crosley again has the first down to the 47-yard line. Robert McHugh, the tackle for Louisville.
Smart play calling by Mike Hobby, and again, the sole thing you're doing here is getting that front four off your quarterback a little bit, helping your offensive lineman out. Now, we can't do it all night. I mean, the clock is running. There's 4 minutes here.
At the 47, 1st and 10. Banks with time overshoots his wide receiver. Joe Bain incomplete.
Well, I'll tell you, these Louisville corners, I mean, they have had tight coverage all night long. That was straight man-to-man, no help. Just, you know, he's playing on an outside technique. He did have help inside from the safety. And the
Antoine Harris in coverage.
And the sad thing is they have not been able to protect long enough to really throw the ball down the field.
2nd and 10. Banks, very little. Again, it's Joe Bain. You know, Huey Whitaker had that huge opening quarter. He hasn't even been on the field as much here in the 4th. Here comes Whitaker into the ball game.
You know, the point is here, you got 3rd down, Al. I think you're in, I think timing-wise, I think you've got to go for it on 4th down here if you don't make it.
3:43 and counting. 3rd down and 6. Off the hands of Clinton Crosley.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, if you're going to play a throw and catch offense, which this is, you got to throw and you got to catch. That was crucial. And I think you have to go for it here. Yeah, that's a catch that's got to be made.
3:34 remaining. Down by 7. South Florida has not had much offensively since the opening quarter. And the Bulls take their 2nd timeout.
Yep. Now, this is where your offense has got to grow up. You've got to do a starter at quarterback. Of course, so does Louisville. But you have to make plays in these situations. That's the biggest difference, in my opinion, now between this team and South Florida last year. You know, you had some great leadership on that team and some seniors, and I think they're still feeling their way. And we still have to have, they still have to have people that kind of grow up and step up and take over those leadership roles.
Markwell Blackwell gone. Was on the roster of the New York Jets. Kawika Mitchell gone. The all-time leading tackler at USF.
That's 2 great leaders right there.
2 great leaders.
Just the
Tough
2 guys
people to
I had
replace.
in mind, absolutely. And there were some other seniors that were outstanding leaders as well.
A completely new defensive line this year. How about those play calls by Bobby Petrino down near the goal line to get his team 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter?
Showed a lot of imagination, and you know, the plays are easy to diagram. The key is the execution of the plays, and that's where he's so good. He understands the timing and exactly what has to happen.
All right, to play the game right here for the South Florida Bulls. 4th and 6 at the 49. Banks.
Got it.
Brian Fisher, first down, South Florida.
Well, that brought the crowd to their feet. And you got to give Banks credit. That's a tremendous throw with a lot of pressure. Take a look at it right here. Good technique, good setup, steps into the throw, right on the money.
.327 remaining. The Bulls have 1 timeout left. At the 34, 1st and 10. South Florida looking to answer. Wide receiver screen. There's Huey Whitaker. Fights his way up to 30. Nearly breaks away. Oh, my goodness. He is 1 step away from taking it yard.
Big Huey.
His first catch in a long time. And look at this effort.
Nice block right there. Runs through it. Oh, that's a I mean, he ran right through the
Carrying
linebacker.
Rhodes with a touchdown saving tackle.
Ran right through the linebacker and the other linebacker. Both of them.
Now for 26. 2nd down and 2. DeJuan Green with patience gets a first down. 2:42 and counting.
I like the call. I really do. You cannot let these guys tee off. You got plenty of time. You got 2:40 on the clock.
The crowd, some 36,000 strong. The biggest USF football crowd at Raymond James Stadium, trying to cheer, trying to give the South Florida Bulls some help. Now at the 24-yard line, down by 7, 2:30 and counting.
You know, now, ideally, if you could score here, you'd like not much time left on the clock.
3 seconds on the play clock, down to 2. The Bulls barely get it away in time. The look-in pass, Elgin Hicks, his first catch in a long time, and he's close to a first down.
Another great throw by Banks, right on the money.
Clock running. Under 2 minutes now. 2nd down and a yard. Make it 2nd down and a long yard, close to 2.
Well, what a great finish to this game.
DeJuan Green, can he turn the corner? Green with the first down. Green inside the 10-yard line. Robert McCune saves a touchdown with that tackle.
Out of bounds, stop the clock.
DeJuan Green is down.
And I'll tell you, the Louisville defense is on their heels right now. No question about that. And the crowd is into it. Unbelievable. What a great finish.
1:39 remaining. The Bulls will have 1st and goal from the 7th. And when you think about these offense, Doug Graber, you want to have a little more room. You don't want to be, as weird as this sounds, 1st and goal from the 2, because this is not a real physical type of offense.
That's right. And that's all. That is the problem with this offense. And again, this is the slant play. Excellent blocked downfield by Fisher right there. That's the block that really sprung it.
The Bulls have 1 timeout remaining. 1:39 remaining. DeJuan Green has had a big ball game for South Florida. Had their 2nd touchdown for USF, and really it's his first action of any kind since transferring from Georgia.
And that was a big hit right down there on the 7-yard line. Well, this is gut check time for this offense now, I'll tell you now. And Al, let's see if we can see what happens right here. Helmet to helmet. Helmet to helmet. He might have a concussion. Or plus his helmet got driven into the turf as well.
Once again, the 2nd longest. Winning streak at home in college football, 20 in a row on the line. You know, very easily could have been the longest home winning streak.
On Thursday night, you are exactly
Miami,
right.
very lucky to get by West Virginia. And I know a lot of West Virginia fans, they're still very unhappy with that.
I know one in particular down in our truck, Mr. Blackburn, that is very unhappy with that.
1:39 remaining.
Well, okay, now, do you spread them out here, Al? If I'm Mike Hobby, offensive coordinator Mike, I think the best bet is to spread them out and try to hit a slant on them. Get one of your big receivers. Banks has made some great throws on this drive. Try to get one of those inside throws on a slant.
Can you say Huey Whitaker? But you know, Bobby Petrino is thinking exactly the same thing. Elgin Hicks has been the second leading receiver for South Florida this season. Had a pair of touchdowns against Nicholls State. He's been fairly quiet tonight. He may be a man the Bulls look to as DeJuan Green is back up.
You know, and I think actually this long delay, you know, it's hard to say who gets the advantage here, but I'd have to say Louisville, because emotionally they were on their heels. You had them going, and now you get them just a chance to mentally recover a little bit, although offensively you have plenty of time to talk about exactly what you want to run.
99 seconds.
And look down here to the left of your screen, you're going to see big number 15, Mr. Whitaker, with a big split out here to the left.
Josh Minkins.
Right at the bottom of your screen.
In one-on-one coverage right now. First and goal from the 7. The pitch directly to Fisher, and Fisher is hit behind the line of scrimmage.
Then the clock is running down to 1:26.
One timeout remaining.
Still got plenty of time.
Here comes Ronnie Banks back on the field.
And a tight end.
Timeout. An official timeout for an injury. Looks like Tyrone Satterfield very slow walking out the field. And that might have been the best news for South Florida on that play.
You got Mike Ruger in the game as a tight end. Now, all coaches will have it in the red zone and inside the 10-yard line. They'll have 4 or 5 plays in their book that they've practiced all week for exactly this situation.
1:07 and counting. Second and goal from the 9. Banks steps up, nailed behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Bulls again working the clock with 49 seconds. Third and goal. And the Bulls call a timeout.
And it's a shame because at the last second, Elgin Hicks became wide open in the back of the end zone, and he just didn't have time to get him the ball.
You know, the crime in this is that the South Florida Bulls have it. First and goal inside the 10. And after 2 plays, they still have not even put the ball to the end zone.
Right. Started on the 7-yard line. Now they're back on the 10. Got to take your watch. If you can see right at the top of your screen, watch 22 Elgin Hicks come free at the last seconds. Right there. And Banks just does not have the time to get him the football. Okay, this Louisville team has a lot of talent, a lot of young talent. They're really a sophomore-dominated team, sophomore and junior-dominated team. And I'll tell you, they have 3 or 4 offensive linemen that I think are fantastic. They have 5 or 6, 7 defensive linemen that are young players that are really going to be good.
All right, here come the Bulls. 45 seconds remaining. They're down by 7. Third and goal from the 8-yard line.
Got to throw the ball in the end zone now. Got to take 2 shots.
For what it's worth, Huey Whitaker, one-on-one at the top of your screen.
Yep, they doubled him.
Banks under pressure, looking for Whitaker, runs very close to the goal line, down at the 1. The Bulls out of timeouts. Now with 33 seconds. Okay.
Fourth down.
Fourth down. This is for the ball game.
Gotta hurry up here.
20 seconds. The Bulls have to have patience here. No one's on Whitaker. Nobody is on Whitaker, and now Louisville saw that and calls the timeout. Huey Whitaker, no one was within 10 yards of Huey Whitaker at the bottom of the screen.
Totally uncovered. Nice job in Louisville recognizing a tremendous problem there and getting a timeout. And this really helps South Florida, because now this gives them time to really offensively settle down. They got one shot at it here. Ball's on about the 1.5 yard line. They put their tight ends in the game. I'm not sure about that. You're playing right into their strength, I think, when you do that. See Rod Smith on the phone with Mike Hobby upstairs. They're making this crucial decision right here.
Jim Levitt pondering. What does he have up his sleeve? If nothing else, think about the rivalry that is building now between USF and Louisville.
And of course, you know, the next question is, obviously, if South Florida scores here, then we're looking at overtime. That could be a little bit exciting.
And this is going to be a very short week for South Florida, because next Friday night they have TCU here at Raymond James Stadium. Talk about a tough October. Louisville, TCU, and then a trip to Southern Miss. How about this? Banks out of the ball game. Brian Fisher will go under center.
Possible option play.
Two wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. This is for the ball game.
Option.
The pitch,
Touchdown.
wide open. Quentin Crosley, touchdown, South Florida.
What a great call by Mike Hobby. And I'll tell you, Fisher, he executed it perfectly with everything on the line. Everything on the line. And, buddy, he executed that play. Was a great option quarterback in high school.
The biggest 2 yards in South Florida history. And now, Santiago Gramatica missed a point after earlier this season. This is the biggest one of his career.
Good snap is urgent. Good snap.
You've got it all, and you've got a tie.
And we're looking at overtime, Mr. Kent. Gutsy play call by Mike Hobby. Gutsy call.
More than 36,000 at Raymond James Stadium. Loving every minute of it.
Well, what a ball game. Here's the option. This is what's called a sprint option. Option on the end man. Make him come to you, pitch it out, walk it in. That's the same play they ran against Alabama. Except in that game, he kept it, Fisher kept it, and darted in the end zone.
And the main thing about South Florida, I would imagine they decided on that play very quickly, but they kept their personnel off the field until the very last second.
That's exactly right. And that's the whole idea of huddle on the sideline, run them in, run the play. Do not give them a chance to get adjusted.
All right, 10 seconds remaining here. The Bulls need a deep kick. They do not need a long return and a field goal try. Louisville has 2 timeouts remaining.
Jim Levitt is all the way out to the numbers on the field. Jim does most of the coaching of the special teams on his own, and frankly, I love it, because I do the same thing in NFL Europe. I coach all the special teams.
Frank Beamer has had big success with that at Virginia Tech. Justin Geisler will kick things off. Tied at 21. A high kick, but it's a short kick.
Whoa!
Oh, the big hit.
Wow!
C.J. Lewis. And Broderick Clark went for a ride he didn't bargain for. Make that Sidney Simpson.
Watch this hit. Yo!
And the scoring on that of 5.6.
Boy, these kids are playing hard. Oh. Well, I think right now, I think you're going to see Coach Petrino just kneel down on the ball. Head for overtime.
5 seconds remaining.
That's exactly what you're going to see.
And South Florida didn't have nearly enough men on the field defensively.
Well, now the all-important coin toss, college overtime is very, very exciting.
We promised a fun one, and boy, has this delivered or what? We're on to overtime, tied at 21 at Raymond James Stadium.
A hold. Now, if they don't take this penalty, I will totally be shocked. I don't see it yet.
It might have been Chris Carruthers.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
Let's look at Carruthers.
Not a good start to overtime.
He has played a tough ball game. In fact, this entire South Florida offensive line holding down this tough rush of Louisville. 2nd and 20. Banks with time. Complete at the 20.
That's going to set up third and about 9. Now, Al, if you don't get the first down here, you got to kick the field goal, right?
You would think. Third down and 6, ball on the 21-yard line. They have to get over the 15-yard line to keep this drive alive. Banks again under pressure. Banks flips it out. Clayton Crosby, first down, South Florida. Clayton Crosby scored the game-tying touchdown.
I think that Ronnie Banks has matured tremendously in this game. Here's a tough throw going to your left. Makes a great throw. I think he's matured tremendously during this game.
How about surviving 2 big penalties in overtime to get a first down? First and goal at the 10. Crosley again. Crosley pulled down at the 5-yard line. And it is McCune with the touchdown-saving tackle.
And I'll tell you what, that again was a good call. I like the call because, again, you've got to slow down that rush. They certainly did it. They're coming up the field. You have to run the draw at them.
2nd and goal from the 6. The Bulls cannot get a first down. Whitaker's at the bottom of the screen. Banks, quarterback draw. Banks still going. Banks at the 2. All right, do you bring the option back?
That's exactly what I was just thinking. I would not be shocked. Here they're calling the personnel group, and here go the 2 tight ends in the game.
Banks off the field, and here comes Brian Fisher.
Here we go.
And here's your option. Whitaker is ensuring the play. Here's the option. Fisher, touchdown, South Florida.
Louisville was totally lined up wrong. Could not get lined up. How exciting is this? Very, very big extra point here.
Santiago Gramatica. 3 for 3 tonight. Good snap, good hold, and the Bulls lead. 28-21, the first round of overtime.
Well, this is fantastic. Now, if you're Louisville, then you clearly know exactly what you have to do. You force them to take some gambles, a little bit bigger chance of an interception, a turnover. Very interesting.
Louisville came in 4-0, number 26 in in the country, and with impressive wins at Kentucky, over Syracuse. Now the Bulls have their defense, who came up big throughout this game, and now they're going towards that USF band with all kinds of noise in Raymond James Stadium.
You bet it is rocking now.
First down from the 25, quick drop. LaForce looking for Russell. Russell out of bounds.
Out of bounds. He
made
caught
an incredible catch.
He really did, but he was clearly out of bounds.
J.R. Russell from right up Dale Mabry and Gaither High School.
Well, they went for it right off the bat. They had to press man-to-man coverage, ran a simple fade, just threw it a little, pushed off. That's a push-off right there. That could have easily been called offense. I mean, that was a push-off.
They have spread things around. Second down from the 25. Louisville must score a touchdown. Again, looking
that's
for
great
Russell.
defense.
Excellent defense and a miscommunication between J.R. Russell and LaForce.
It was a great jam by the corner that ended that play. Great jam. He knocked him right out of his socks.
All right, it's very simple for Louisville. They have to score a touchdown.
That's right.
Third down and 10 from the 25. And listen to this crowd at Raymond James.
And give South Florida, they're not playing back here now. I'll tell you, they've been very, very aggressive on every single play so far. They're pressing the wide receivers, playing man-to-man. Blitz, blitz.
LaForce has running room. LaForce has a first down.
Wow.
Down to the 12-yard line, and here come flags. Could that be a face mask?
Now South Florida got misaligned that time, and that was the result. They had some confusion getting lined up. Wow. I didn't see anything. Obviously something occurred. Half the distance.
A dead ball, personal foul, late hit on the defense. Half the distance from the end of the run, first down.
Wow, let's take a look at it right here. Let's take a look at it right here.
I don't know.
You know, they're playing hard. I mean, this is overtime. They're playing hard.
A quarterback is scrambling. First and goal on the 6. Louisville must score to stay alive. We're in overtime. Gates failed at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I guess so. That 225-pound back, and that was Devin Davis. Wow.
Remember, Gates had the game's opening touchdown on a 67-yard run. Look at Devin Davis.
Now, are we going to have another trick play from Louisville down here?
Keep an eye on the tight ends.
This is an audible.
8 on the play clock. 5 on the play clock. Shelton tripped up at the 3. They may mark it at the 2.
Well, they marked.
Did they mark that at the 1? Now they'll mark it at the 2.
Yep. Okay. Third down. Gotta have they gotta score. Got the big back in there.
That Shelton also has a fullback. Here's Shelton. Shelton down at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, this is something. All right, now, okay. Now, right here's number 76 is coming here. Oh, that's a great effort right there from outside. Now, Kurt Quarterman, number 76, just came in the game. He's 6'5", 350. I would anticipate putting him at fullback. They have done this before.
And he's an offensive lineman. In fact, he scored a touchdown against UTEP on a 1-yard run.
Yeah, he is in the game. He is 6'5", 350 pounds. Oh, boy, the whole game, this is it. The whole ball game right here.
Louisville must score and kick a point after or go for 2 in order to either win or stay alive.
I would not be shocked here, Al, to see some kind of a naked bootleg with LaForce. He's such a good athlete. He can run. I mean, it's the perfect place for that type of call. Now, you know, that takes some guts to make that call, but I would not be surprised.
4th down. 1 yard separating South Florida from its biggest win ever. Its home debut in Conference USA.
Now let's make sure you have the right personnel on there on defense. Yep, they're going to pack it up in the middle. You're going to have Quarterman in the game as a fullback, I think. Bobby Petrino looking on rather anxiously. Here it is.
Again, Quarterman is in the backfield. He's number 76. Play action, and here is the bootleg. LaForce, touchdown, Louisville.
Right, when you have an athletic quarterback like he is, you're certainly not afraid to take a little bit of a shot there. And they had it pretty well defense, really. They had the coverage was very good. LaForce just had too much speed for him to get into the end zone. Now remember, hey, they still got to make an extra point here.
And the Buccaneers can tell you that is not as easy as it looks.
I wonder if they could hire Chris Jenkins to come in here for this one play.
Nate Smith for the tie. And moving on in overtime. It's on to round 2.
Oh, boy, this is exciting stuff. Okay, now Louisville will have the football on the offensive side.
We're in overtime. Tied at 28. South Florida will get the football when we come back. The football chess match. The defense of Jim Levitt, the offense of Bobby Petrino, and both have made some gutsy calls on 4th down throughout this contest. And we are tied at 28 in the 2nd round of overtime.
It's a little bit of a gamble, the bootleg right there, because if you're bringing a guy off the corner and he's alert, then you got a 6-yard loss and the game's over. So, hey, give him credit, though. But it was a good call, and we executed it well.
Now, this time,
they faked it to the big guy. Nice block right there. That was really the key, and a nice job of getting down and getting in the end zone. Boy, and that was Jones chasing him. That's a fast guy chasing. Yeah, now we move to the other end of the field, which helps the Louisville a little bit with their crowd in that end zone.
now Louisville will have the football the first time around.
That's correct. And that puts a gun then to the head a little bit of South Florida, because you know, again, you know, you have to get something done offensively. Now the key thing here in overtime, if you're Louisville, or what period when you're on offense, you turn the ball over, the game's over, because now you simply bring the other offense out, get 10 yards, hopefully, and kick a field goal, or just come on the field and kick a field goal, depending on how much confidence you have in your kicker.
Stephon LaForce leading Louisville.
Both defenses are tired, both of them. Watch the throwback. What?
That is Glenn. Glenn knocked out at the 15.
Boy, LaForce is a cool customer. That was the same throwback play we'd seen before. South Florida had it covered very, very well, and he simply dumped it out of the flat. He is a cool customer. Take a look at it right here. You'll see the tight end coming across the field. They had him covered. Dump it out. You see it looking at a tired South Florida defense right there. That was obvious on that play.
Gain of 9 yards on the play. 2nd down 1. Gates again. To the line of, to the 15-yard line.
Boy, J.R. Reed was right up Johnny on the spot.
Ball marked right at the 15. And a brand new 4 downs for Louisville. Tied at 28, the second round of overtime.
Well, those hearts are thumping out there, I guarantee you.
Russell in motion. The look-in pass. Intercepted, and the South Florida Bulls, if Devin Davis can hold on, pulled down at the 22. And Davis on the pick, and it is LaFleur with the touchdown-saving tackle.
Okay, here we go. Just what we talked about. They got the turnover now. How much confidence do you have in your kicker? Making a pressure kick.
Devin Davis, I think, is just out of gas.
Threw the slant, and he was right there waiting for it. Threw the slant one too many times.
How about the way that LaFleur's is able to run down Davis to save the ball game?
And Davis can run. I'll tell you, I am so impressed with LaFleur. What a competing guy he is. Now, you know, if you know, obviously it's easy up here, Al, but if you lateral the ball back there, you know, you win the game. Okay, but you're still in great position. You're in great position here to win it. Oh, what a play by Davis. Young sophomore linebacker. They have high hopes. Oh, he cramped up right there. He cramped up. He certainly did. All right, now.
And there's the man on the spot right now, Santiago Gramatica. Just in case. It is a very hot, steamy night in Tampa, Florida.
Okay, you got 4 wide receivers on the field for South Florida.
It looks like he was cramping up before he even got to that point.
Yeah, he sure was. That's a cramp all the way. You got 4 wide receivers and a running back. Santiago has Martin here to cheer him on.
The Bulls don't want to turn it over here. Clayton Crosley trying to put it right in the middle of the field. Over the years, the South Florida Bulls went up to Pittsburgh and won a huge game over a team that went on to play in a bowl game. The South Florida Bulls also got a huge win last season over Southern Miss. Southern Miss, a team that really didn't want South Florida in Conference USA. But I think this victory over Louisville, if they can pull it off, would have to be the biggest in Bulls history.
You got Fisher at quarterback. Look for quarterback draw. I don't think they're going to let him throw it.
And there it is. Breaks it outside at the 20. And a first down for the Bulls near the 10-yard line.
Oh, that's huge. That is huge. Now, what Jim Levitt has to decide, does he try to put it in the end zone, or does he bring his kicker on the field?
Well, now from this spot on the field, that is a tough angle right there. You need it in the middle of the field.
You want to center it up, absolutely. Now here comes Banks back on. That's pretty neat right there, isn't it? Martin with Santiago Gramatica right there. What support is that?
First and goal at the 10. And there's Crosley, wanted right in the middle of the field, paid for it. LeFew with the pounding tackle.
This is where Jim's got to make the decision. This is the head coach's call. Kick
Here you go.
He said kick it. I agree.
Here you go.
I agree. Don't take a chance on putting the ball on the ground.
No, not yet. No, he wants one more. No, here comes Gramatica.
Yep. Good snap. Good hold. Just relax. Just relax. Slow it down.
Right in the middle of the field. This would be a 25, 26-yard field goal.
And they've got 2 leapers, and now they're going to try to ice him.
Devin Davis with the interception to make this possible.
I'll tell you what I do, Al, in this situation right here, I don't ice the kicker. I mean, they're expecting to be iced. You know, they're waiting for the call to come. You don't call it.
Okay, now let's go over this, because if there is a bad snap, what do you do?
Well, if there's a bad snap, then absolutely. I'm sure that Jim has practiced that. You just get on the ball right now. Boom, get on the ball. You got another down. You got plenty of time. You can have 2 bad snaps, for that matter. But, you know, obviously you don't want to get yourself backed up. I mean, that ball is almost dead centered on the field.
Do you think Martine's talking to the family back in Louisville?
I guarantee he is. Now that's probably Bill Gramatica, who kicks for Arizona. That's on the line, because he's watching that game out there. You know he is.
That's right. That is on out in Arizona. My daughter Allison's watching the game out in Phoenix.
That's right.
All right, here you go for the victory. South Florida!
Unbelievable. What a win. And the winning streak is alive.
Even Martin Gramatica is on the field.
Wow. And here they come out of the stands. Oh, boy. That's the 26th rated team in the country that just went down tonight.
Martin very proud of his little brother.
Wow. You got to be kidding. What a great win for Jim Levitt. Al, I'm going to be very, very totally honest with you. I really did not think they could get this team tonight. But boy, did they play. And what a great job of coaching. What a great job of coaching by that guy. Unbelievable what he has done with this program.
In the second overtime, Santiago Gramatica with the 26-yard field goal. But remember, it was all set up by the interception by one Mr. Devin Davis. And I would think he's in the middle of that celebration despite the cramp.
Well, this certainly puts USF in great position now. I mean, it's early in the season, but they got a leg up on going to a pretty good bowl now, if they can just keep it going. And TCU coming in, right.
It'll be a very short week for South Florida, but they won't care tonight. It may be a very short night for South Florida. Santiago Gramatica for the victory.
Well, Jim Levitt, after a game like this now, Jim is going to have a heck of a time getting their attention this week to prepare for this next. Look at Martine. How neat is that? How neat is that? Don't get hurt. Don't get hurt.
Oh, can you imagine John Gruden watching this?
Oh, that is so cool. And the students on the field. I love it. Yes, sir.
The biggest win in South Florida history. They win their home Conference USA debut to go to 3-1 on the season. 2-0 in Conference USA. Jim Levitt, he has to be spent.
At least he's not bleeding anymore.
And look at the crowd. Still on the field. Celebrating, again, what has to be the biggest win in USF history.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well, Jim Levitt, what a job. What a job you have done. Fantastic. Fantastic. These are two great young coaches, I'll tell you that.
Gramatica on the phone. Do you think it is his brother, Bill?
I'll guarantee it is. No question about that.
Bill, of course, a former USF kicker.
Boy, you know, the best thing, all the players that have played at USF and have contributed to this winning streak at home, they got to just be thrilled with the effort of this football team tonight in the fourth quarter to come back, win the game, and tie the game, and then win it in overtime.
Now, what you're seeing, that is the middle of the field. There's a huge crowd of USF fans still on the fields. Look at that, celebrating this victory.
That is so neat. And I'll tell you, TCU, I'll guarantee you, they'll have 40,000 here now for TCU.
That'll be a Friday night game. And again, it'll be a very quick week for USF. We have got Santiago Gramatica with this. Santiago, was that a piece of cake? No doubter on that.
Oh man, I can't believe it. I'm so happy. I just want to say, first I want to say hi to my dad. I know he's watching right now. And Martine was here and Bill. I called him on the phone and my mom. It was great. And the line was incredible. I had all day. I mean, they blocked tremendously. The team played. I mean, we have so much heart.
Santiago, this is Doug Graber.
Coach, how are you?
I'm good. How neat was that to have your brother right there with you?
Oh, it was incredible. It was incredible. Just, relaxing, having somebody like him right there by my side. It was incredible.
We're looking at the kick right now on the replay, and there was no question about it. You hit it solid.
Oh, thank you.
Santiago, what does this victory mean to this program?
Oh, it's incredible. It's tremendous. They were undefeated. We had a home game winning streak in Conference USA, so it's great.
I don't want to tell you this, but you got TCU coming up in a very short week. You going to be ready for TCU now?
Yeah, we get to celebrate today, and then tomorrow we start thinking about TCU.
Santiago Gramatica, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Coach, with this bowl.
Thank you.
I didn't get to see you after that, but...
Okay, thank you, Santiago.
All right, thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Martine Gramatica saying, can you hear me now?
Oh, boy, what a night here in Tampa. What a night for the Gramatica family, for Jim Levitt, for his staff that's worked so hard, for all the players that have built this program in just 7 short years. Incredible, Al.
South Florida with the victory, 31-28. The winning streak goes on, 21 games. And the South Florida Bulls go to 3-1 on the season, 2-0 in Conference USA. We'll be back with more right after this.